What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Follow us anywhere and everywhere at My Cowboys Family, and of course, hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below.
It's been a little bit, guys, but that's the way it's going to be here on My Cowboys Family, probably for a while. Schedule changes, different things, as we've said. We keep reminding you guys, but yeah, we're still going to touch base with you guys at least once or twice a week, and of course, we're going to do our best to do our game day live streams, which is tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Yeah, we're going to be on late tomorrow, but it's for game time, right, against these Vegas Raiders. So we'll be talking about a little bit about what to watch for the game tomorrow, but we got to talk about this week and all the ups and downs and all around trades, free agent signings, and non-signings of our own.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through all that today and more, and it's going to be a little quicker than you think. I know it's 5 days of news, but it's going to be quicker than you think, so make sure you guys drop your knowledge in the chat. If you want to drop some love and help out the channel, we get to your comments and thoughts faster that way. Either way, we're getting through this one way or the other. And we're going to talk about our Cowboys, the good, bad, and ugly. As we get kicking off here, a new week, it's Fan Friday.
That's right.
So much love to everybody on a Fan Friday. We'll do the shout-outs here in a minute. But we also have a raffle going down. And we have, it's a power-packed show. So thanks for joining us on this kind of a weekly update, you can say, here at MCF. We'll be doing more often than not, even during the regular season sometimes. So, as we open this up, baby, it's time to kind of give the shout-out to those that make the world go round on a new week. We had LC, Lincoln Kane, repping for 3 straight weeks here. But now it's time to chill.
Yeah, just like the Olympics, the torch has been passed.
Yeah, the chill pill. Chill Pill in the house, taking over as the sponsor of the week and the Cash App Queen. Yeah, I said it, Queen. Much love to Chill Pill. She broke records. I think biggest drop, biggest overall. I mean, whatever. She took over in a 2-week span and dominated. So big shout out to Chill Pill. Of course, on the After Dark or After Dark 2. If you don't know, well, you got to figure it out, guys, if you want to be part of that after party. But either way, big shout out to Chill Pill as a sponsor week and the Cash App King. Now, we will not be including the After Dark crew anymore on this side. We're going to have 2 different things here during the regular season. So basically, starting tonight, as you can see, the leaderboards and all that stuff, it's just going to be My Cowboys Family. It's not going to be the After Dark. After Dark's got their own leaderboard. So appreciate Chill Pill. She's representing here, LC and all the others, McLovin. Probably one of the final times on this side of the board, unless they jump in here and drop the love. But they, I just wanted to make sure everyone knows that right now, on a new week, we got new leaders because it's just MCF family.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, big shout out to Chill Pill. She broke records and she basically marked like the end of the After Dark influence on here as we go full steam ahead for the 2024 Cowboy regular season. Mark Hosepian, all the way from Hawaii. Big shout outs to him. 81 points on the stream, boss. He's always repping that star all the way in Hawaii over everything. And you look at the person repping the gifting membership crown. It is Jason Renfro, Jetly44, who took it back down with a 2 gifting membership, and he is back there. 10 out of 12 weeks of domination for the man, Jetly44. Now, I also want to shout out the leaders so far. Of course, our first stream of the week, so there's no gifting memberships been done yet, so that board is completely open. Marco Sepien, of course, 81 points. But Chill Pill is not the leader this week. In fact, currently in the Cash App side, there is no leader. Nobody leading right now. It's a new week, and I'm not using the After Dark crew, so it is open for anyone to take. And if you look at the overall board, there are a couple names you want to take a look at here. Of course, I'm going to give big shout outs to those that dropped the love one way or the other here, whether it was through the thanks button, which is Skeptical Fan multiple times. He's in 3rd place. Whether it's Top Dog Bay Bullies, which is a.k.a. Dwayne Broussard. Much love to him. And he is back in the silver level membership. Plus, he dropped the thanks. He dropped the pre-stream drop. I know he said something.
Yes, he
kicking
did.
things off tonight here.
A classic. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Much love to him. And when you look at the others here on the board, they're all in the membership side. The memberships that dropped, the people re-upped in them, like Darren Posey, Roy Strasner, MJ Fontes, Walter Williams, Traveling Fools, and Alpha Male Pimp. Yeah, even Alpha Male Pimp in the house. But the person in first place leading the whole thing right now is the great Marissa Sparkle. Part of that star level membership. She's back in the mix. So big shout outs to her as she's automatically right now kicking off a new week in the lead. Now, as you can see, there's different ways of dropping the love here. You can do the super chats here live on stream. You could do the thanks button after the stream or on other videos. You can do, of course, jump in the membership, like you heard a lot of people already doing that. And you can gift memberships. But there's other ways outside of YouTube, 4 ways to help support the channel here through, we call it the After Dark method at this point for the Cash App Crown.
And you have, of course, the Cash App money sign MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at my-cowboys-family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, that Streamlabs link that lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat would.
That's right. And again, big shout out to everybody participating in this side of things. But I do want to do one last shout out because we do have a raffle going down tonight. It's a Star and Over Everything level membership raffle for the month of July. And we also include, it's just not just the Star level and the Over Everything, because we also add in there the weekly winners. And this month, the 4 weekly winners, LC, 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 and Chill Pill. So all 4 names are added. Bonus raffle entries in this. Lincoln Kane LC already has a Star level entry. So big shout outs to him. He's got probably the best chance to win in this raffle tonight. But there's other people involved in here. Like I said, Chill Pill. And then you have, now you do have others that will be in this raffle that were in here for most of the July, since we're already in August, like Seabass, who has 2 entries because he's part of the Over Everything crew, at least for the month of July. So he will be having 2 entries, and of course a bunch of others that are in here in the Star level, like the shout out time here, like Skeptical Fan got himself an entry there. You got Lincoln Kane LC, you got Marissa Sparkles back in the mix, and the Lunatic. So big shout outs to you guys in the Star level. Big shout out to Seabass, who's in the Over Everything level, and he does have a raffle entry for this one here. And I know Jet Li's not in this one, but he is also in the raffle here as well. So big shout out to all you guys. And since it is Fan Friday, we also shout out the Silver level members, although they're not in the raffle. And the Silver level members, much love to the great A. Lavelle and Top Dog. Top Dog Bay Bully. So yeah, that is Dwayne Broussard. So big shout out to you guys in the Silver level membership on a Fan Friday. Now I'm done speaking my part of things, baby. Who's in the house to discuss some Cowboy football tonight?
We have Scorpio representing much love. Double R, what's up, hello and hi. Rolando Rodriguez all the way from South Texas.
Oh yeah.
We have Leaside Harold, who had to come and represent his favorite football team, right? Texas Twister, hello and hi. Stay safe out there on the road. We have, let's see here. Double R, shout out to you, salute. We have Thomas Garrett, the Superior. Garrett, much love to you once again. Let's see, we have Lord Nova 85, what's up with you?
Yeah.
Dana Berry Sports Highlights, hello.
DB, another DB in the house.
Kind of rolling back. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody, right? Tornado, hello and hi. Let me see. So at least on my side, I think that's everyone. Of course, there's more people trickling in. I'll make sure to keep on.
Scorpio came in first in here with the drops. I think Freedom First was second, not first. So just shouting out a couple others in the house, in the mix there, who popped in there a little earlier, I think, than your screen shows. But appreciate everybody in the house. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know we're going live. Follow us on Discord. Follow us on Twitter, X, at all social media, at MyCowboysFamily. Let's get it rolling with the news, info, and updates. And not just on our Dallas Cowboys, but in the NFL. So let me just quickly do some NFL stuff here. Brandon Ayuk. We know that his days seem to be limited and numbered in San Francisco. And there's been a lot of rumors of him going. Is a deal ready to go for him to go to Pittsburgh? Well, that is not necessarily the case. It's kind of been debunked a little bit, but there's still a potential for that deal to be going through. The update is that the Steelers and Niners have some sort of possible deal on a potential trade. And for the Steelers, they're in a good place when it comes to trying to absorb or sign Ayuk on a contract. If San Francisco does give the sign-off, it seems like it will be done eventually. We'll see what happens. But San Francisco has an offer out right now to Brandon Ayuk on a long-term deal for him to try to stay in San Francisco, but he did not accept it. So that is also, obviously they're at a standstill there. Will the trade go through? He'll be a free agent next year. The Steelers don't have to trade for him now. They could just wait till next year and then have a free agent, signing battle. But they'd rather just get him in there now on their team for the trade and get him signed and delivered there to themselves. Either way, one of the biggest hang-ups on the trade is there's a player named Connor Hayward, who the Niners want to try to get in there. According to Niners GM John Lynch, he is infatuated by this offensive Swiss Army knife player, Connor Hayward, and signed off on a trade package that would include a Connor Hayward. But Steelers GM Omar Khan refuses to part with the young star. So that's the hang-up on this deal, on the Brandon Ayuk deal. If it ever is going to get done, that's going to be part of the situation there for that. Now, there's also other stuff going on when you look at Hassan Reddick, former Eagle, now a Jet, and now technically holding out. All-pro pass rusher holding out has informed the Jets that he wants to be traded. He was just... was he traded? I think he was traded from the Eagles to the Jets. I think he was on contract, and now he wants to be traded once again. He doesn't like the way the Jets are kind of treating him there in his contract. Now, what about another pass rusher who did get traded? Very good one, by the way, in New England, Matthew Judon, guys. Yeah, Matthew Judon, again, multiple teams have inquired about trading for him, and a deal is finally done. He was traded to the Atlanta Falcons, as they also picked up that safety who was a free agent, I think, as well. So they, Falcons trying to get a little defensive boost here at this portion of, I guess, free agency, or let's call it preseason / training camp. So Matthew Judon now, again, he's due $6.5 million in the final year of his contract. But New England made a contract offer this summer, and he didn't accept it, so that's why they ended up trading him to the Falcons. Now, so some people are saying the Cowboys might have been involved in this trade. No, we went much more low level. I'll explain that in a minute here. But the Cowboys do have the cap space. We talked about that we are kind of winning the salary cap out there. We got like $30 million open technically, or $20 million. So again, if the Cowboys could have worked something out, I'm sure they could bring any of these good players out there for a minimal kind of trade and bring in a guy who actually is going to be effective for us. But no, we go always to that mid or lower level of free agency. Now, a former Cowboy, Martavius Bryant, has been signed by a team that knows, the head coach knows him well, I'm assuming, because Dan Quinn over there.
That's right. Getting
him to the Washington Commanders. So Martavius Bryant is officially a Washington Commander under Dan Quinn. But not many people want to really, he's not really going to work. He's going to be a practice squad guy at best for Washington. So, we know what that system is. We know he's not really having it anymore for the NFL. I guess Dan Quinn's giving him one last look. And another former Cowboy for a year, Tavon Austin, 2 years, I think. He officially retired. He's announced his retirement. So,
wishing him the best, of
yes,
course.
in his post-football life there. Now, as far as the Cowboys are concerned, there's definitely, we might not be loving this offseason. We hate this offseason, but Jerry Jones is loving it. You know why? Because the Cowboys are valued. Right now their value is $10.32 billion with a B. $10.32 billion. The Cowboys are the most valuable team in professional sports. All professional sports.
It almost feels like monopoly money, right?
Yeah.
But then you stop and realize, oh no, this is someone's actual real money. No, I'm just trying to say that it just, when we're talking those types of numbers, and of course pretty sure it was just last year that they were only valued at 9.23. I don't know. It wasn't that much more. So
yeah, but it's still $1 billion.
Oh, that's a
profit
lot.
Jump, because again, it was a 12% change for the Cowboys, which, by the way, I think it was the third or fourth highest in the top 10 in the NFL as far as change and growth. Like top 4. That's crazy for the Cowboys, who already were worth like $9 billion. 12% change. The Cowboys at $10.32 billion. The Cowboys are the first team to reach an evaluation of $10 billion or more. And obviously we're well above that right now. Again, you look at the list in the NFL, the most valuable franchises in the NFL. Cowboys are number 1 at $10.32 billion. The number 2 team are the Rams, who we just scrimmaged and played this last weekend, at $7.79. So you're looking at almost $3 billion more the Cowboys are worth than any other team. The Rams are second. The Giants, who were second last year, dropped to third. Patriots fourth, Niners fifth, Jets sixth. The Dolphins, who went up this list, are now 7th. Eagles went up 1 spot. They're now 8th. Vegas Raiders, our opponent this week, they're 9th. And the Commanders, who went down 3 spots, are currently 10th on this list. So it's just crazy. Jerry Jones went from being one of the most spending owners in the 90s. When we had less money, he had less money and the team was worth less, and there was less money on the cap.
He basically said, I want it, I got it, and I bought it.
Yeah, but it was, before, in the first couple of years, there was no, the first couple of years, there was no salary cap, so he did that, right? But it wasn't like we went out there and spent crazy money. We went one big trade at Charles Haley, and then we got a bunch of like kind of guys that were thrown off their teams in a way, Thomas Everett and those kind of guys, and Isaac Holt. I'm saying these guys are not superstars, but we signed them for minimal contracts. So that was the spending we did there because Jimmy Johnson was the GM running things. When Jerry Jones took over, we had a salary cap, and the only guy we really paid for was Deion Sanders. I think since then, really, that panned out. So spent, I guess you could say comparatively, Jerry Jones, one of the owners that spent the most money in the 90s. And basically in the last decade, we barely spent money. We spent money we've had to spend on players that are good enough that we had to spend on them, or else it'd be stupid for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really strange to see the change in a 25, 30-year slide, so to speak. And, the Cowboys, the reason I think this is coming in this direction is because the Cowboys essentially crowdfund their other business ventures. So it's more about being a brand than trying to win or trying to promote. Like the brand of the star in the Cowboys is what makes the money.
It's a separate entity outside of like the Dallas Cowboy football team in a way. So,
and that's the way Jerry Jones looks at it. Like this part of the Cowboys is a football team portion. This part of the Cowboys is the whatever. This part of the Cowboys is this, and so it's like. So the Cowboys losing is just a third, a fourth of importance of Jerry Jones's like products under the brand of Jerry Jones and the Star. So again, that is, what I think happens when brands are bigger than their products. You feel me? So, anyways, I just thought I'd throw that in there since I saw that earlier in the week. And we're not spending money. And now we're going to the money spot. Again, we haven't spent money this offseason when it comes to the Cowboys, and they haven't even signed our own guys that we love so much. And the one guy we're waiting to come in still in a holdout is CeeDee Lamb. And so
you guys, Darius Lamb too.
Well, you guys remember, let me just give you a quick rundown on what's going on. You guys, here's the news of CeeDee Lamb, the update on CeeDee Lamb. But remember Ricky, the guy on Twitter that kind of knows it? He had said that, close to signing contract, $34.5 million. Now we hear from Ricky, put that in quotes, confirming the Cowboys have offered CeeDee Lamb a 4-year contract worth $33.5 million. That's what he said. Adding that he would be surprised if it was not resolved soon with CeeDee Lamb. That was like 5 days ago. Then Adam Schefter on NFL Live went on a kind of a rant about the Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb and this contract standoff. He said it would be a huge upset if CeeDee Lamb is not there for the start of the regular season. A huge surprise. He said this, quote, "Now, I don't know whether they can bridge the differences, which aren't that much, this week or next week or the week after. But this deal's going to get done. It would be shocking to me and utterly stupid if it did not get done in time for the start of the regular season opener." So the Cowboys are going to have to figure out a way. It's disappointing that it went on as long as it did, but the fact that they can't get this deal done is hard to imagine. Look, he's got 1 year left on this deal. Everybody knew was coming. We knew that what the numbers should be. It should be simple to get done, and the full expectation is that it will get done. But if you don't get it done before the regular season, according to Schefter, it's not going to be it's the dumbest thing the Cowboys could do. We know. We know. You guys know we called this, right? Fucking clown show. So basically, that's what Adam Schefter went on a 5-minute rant, basically calling the Cowboy front office the clown show. And he continued by saying this, quote, "Everybody knows what the number should be. It should be simple to get done, and the full expectation it will get done, and it will get done in time for the start of the regular season. So this is just a lot of noise until then." And that noise is what Jerry Jones loves. The noise is what brings him the $10.32 billion on that team. And that is, Jerry Jones loves to have the noise over having a winning team. He wants the noise. That brings him money. A winning team brings him less money than the noise.
Yeah, he wants a competitive team, not necessarily a winning team.
Yeah. Competitive is one of the...
They're not necessarily mutually exclusive.
Yeah. There's 4 pillars of the Cowboys. We've talked about this. You can check it out on their website. 4 pillars, and none of them are winning. One of them is, though, being competitive. That's they're telling you what they want to do. Now, the other clown here, Stephen Jones, also, I think yesterday, gave an update on the CeeDee Lamb situation. He said, quote, as far as the status and contract negotiations on CeeDee Lamb, quote, they are still ongoing. They are evolving. I know everybody likes them to be done immediately. And as I said, it's a challenge for us in terms of working 3 of the better football players in this league. And of course, he's talking about Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons. He said, quote, trying to get them all in a situation where they're all happy, and it works for us as well. We'll continue to work. Pencils are up. We're working hard at it. Hopefully, we'll continue to make some progress and get 1 or 2 of these guys done. Now, I mean, that's straight smoke, bullshit, smoke up our ass.
Yeah,
Stephen Jones clown show.
A lot of it sounds like it can be boiled down to, man, I really wish they'd do that this week. Like, that's, I'm just saying.
Like, I really hope the guys sign this weekend. You're the guy responsible for signing them, So, and Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, they're continuing their dumb games. As offers are thrown around, we don't know what the numbers are. We hear these numbers from this Ricky guy. We have some hard numbers now. And this is it, guys. Per Calvin Watkins of the Dallas Morning News, and now multiple sources on top of that situation. Now we know numbers coming out when it comes to CeeDee Lamb and the Joneses. Before the Cowboys, and again, I'm fast forwarding a little bit because we're talking about CeeDee Lamb. So this whole week has been pretty quiet. There's been some rumblings. Maybe there's some discussions. They're sending stuff out. We're waiting on them. They're waiting. They're waiting on CD. CD's waiting on them. And now, before they departed for this week's game, tomorrow's game against the Raiders, before they got in the plane and left, both sides met. The Joneses, CeeDee Lamb and his agent, both sides met on. Both sides met and basically they met Thursday over a phone conference call in an attempt to finalize a deal by this weekend, I'm assuming. But they met on Thursday over the phone. Today, the deal is now out there that the Cowboys are officially offering probably the best receiver, or at least the second best receiver in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb, slightly under $33 million per year. And that is multiple sources saying this. According to what CeeDee Lamb wants, quote, what Lamb is looking for isn't known, end quote. So the point here is, it sounds to me like the Cowboys are lowballing once again. I'm sorry, but as of this point,
I mean, the fact that he isn't signed and we're already like this deep into training camp and everything else, I have to obviously agree with you. I mean,
Adam Schefter said this is already stupid that it took this long. We knew last year what the situation was, and we're here now and we still don't have a deal. This is a team distraction, a team disruptor, a team implosion possibility if these idiots keep playing their dumb games. So, and the reason I say that is basically just under $33 million. What does that mean? That means he's getting a hair over what A.J. Brown is getting from the Eagles. And I'd say a bit under what Justin Jefferson is getting from the Vikings. So all of these months of wasted negotiations and back and forth, to me, has been wasted. Why? Because we knew we were waiting for Justin Jefferson's deal to come through. It's $35 million per year. And the offer is right now, this is a month and a half later, the offer is at under $33 million when we were waiting for it to be under $35 million, not under $33. They're $2 million lowballing per year, CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb saying, fuck you. And it's good. And I know that we haven't heard a deal being done yet, or, this deal is still out there. I'm telling you guys, I highly doubt CeeDee Lamb takes this deal. So this is my opinion. Maybe he'll take it tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe the guarantees are phenomenal, right? If the guarantees are really, really good, then he may take it. But the per year thing, it's almost disrespectful. I know some people out there are like, well, he's making a lot of money already. Who cares, guys? This is what both sides are waiting for, to get Justin Jefferson's number and then get it close to that number, right? $34 million. We heard Ricky say $33.5 million. We heard, $34 million would be a little below Justin Jefferson. $34.5 was kind of what I was thinking. Like that'd be like the limit. Some people were saying over 35, but I don't think that's the case either. I don't think CeeDee Lamb's looking for that. Obviously, the Joneses are lowballing him at under $33 million. I know they're just numbers in our head, right? $33 million is a lot, but the point is, his value is more than that in the receiver market. He is closer. Would you say he's closer, CeeDee Lamb? Is he closer to A.J. Brown at $32 million, which is he'll be like at 32.8 for CeeDee Lamb? Or would you say he's closer to Justin Jefferson at $35 million? And I'm not talking about the price. I'm talking about the player.
I mean, I have to be honest. I do think he's closer to the Justin Jefferson.
I do too.
Spectrum there. I mean, pretty much, and it's not just us being, biased Cowboy fans or big fans of CD. Like even amongst the general NFL and stuff, CD is usually one of the top 3 receivers in this league. So,
listen, for the Cowboys, just a little note here. The Cowboys had a lot of 88s, a lot of great receivers. Yep. No receiver has had a better 4-year start to their career in Dallas than CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, whose number was going to be number 10, and took number 88 because Jerry Jones begged him to, because Jerry Jones' buddy from Arkansas, where he used to play football, college, passed away, and his name was Lamb, and he wore 88. So I think he wore 88. The point is, this was a big deal for you. Get your top pick. You didn't expect CeeDee Lamb to fall to you. You get him in there. You get him his. You change his number for him. You put him on the pedestal. You put him with it, and then you say, no, we're going to lowball you in your 5th year in the NFL on a 5th-year deal at $17.9 million right now, a non-movable contract, and we're going to lowball you because you're worth closer to 35 than 32. We're going to give you 32, a hair over $32 million. Are you fucking kidding me? This is horrific front office business. I'm sorry if some of you guys say, well, you shouldn't get paid because you got to win a Super Bowl first. We're not living in 1985, so too bad. Your guys got to get out of the delusional world of the past. The reality is now you don't win Super Bowls to get paid. You just got to be a top player in your market, in your position market. And if you're a top player, you got to get paid that money, or else you got to go, and somebody else will pay it, whether it's Dak, whether it's Micah, whether it's CeeDee Lamb. Any thoughts on this, baby, on this whole entire situation, since it is kind of passionate?
I mean, again, it is just ridiculous that we are still having this discussion, more than halfway through our training camp for our team. So just get it done. That's it. I wake up every day hoping that today is going to be the day. It has yet to be the day. At this point, I'm just hoping we get it done in time for CD to even join the team in Oxnard. Like, by the time it gets done,
we got one more week.
We'll be back in freaking Dallas.
We have 1 week left. I don't even think he's coming to Oxnard. He's not coming to Oxnard. He's not going to be practicing. He has to get ramped up anyways, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he'll have to get ramped up to be acclimated to play in a... he could be practicing himself right now, but to hit things and run into things and catch and dive...
Another thing that we haven't even touched on, too, Rolando Rodriguez said it, he just doesn't want CeeDee Lamb to get hurt because he wasn't able to participate in actual training camp.
The problem for me,
but his health is also able to.
I understand, but that's the other issue. When you don't take part in training camp, and now he's going to come back, has to get acclimated for week 1, and that's when you get hurt because he's had to be not rushed, but he didn't have that whole month to warm up his muscles. Right? He's had a week, a week and a half.
Period is going to be different than pretty much everybody else.
So this weight could be it could hurt CeeDee Lamb more than anything else. Keeping him healthy is one thing. Hurting him, into the season I think is a more possible situation, unfortunately, because they're waiting so long and he's training in the sand in Cabo, whatever, and he's not with the team connecting with Dak. He's not on the team, reconnecting, I should say. He's connecting with Dak, but reconnecting with Dak, reconnecting with the teammates, reconnecting with the scheme, the changes, the tweaks. With Trey Lance, I'm just saying, there's no connection. Right now, he's by himself, isolated, and that's not helping the star. That's not helping this team. And we knew this already. These two schmucks, they're still playing tiddlywinks, and everybody's playing chess. I don't know. I don't get it. So, any other comments in the chat real quick? A couple of comments, of course. If you guys want us to dive deeper in the comment, dropping the love. Yeah. The super chat is a way of doing that here.
Let me see. I said, at this point, we don't care anymore. Either Lamb signs or not. But let's move on. Does he deserve the money? Of course. We just don't have time for distractions.
I just try to bring up the weekly, the weekly update. And it's the Joneses causing the issue. The Joneses want the distractions. He just said it. It's just noise. That's the way Adam Schefter feels, and that's what Jerry Jones loves. He loves the noise because everyone's always watching that star. They're watching the Cowboys. They're tuning in, and that brings in money for the Joneses. And he can brag, look how much money I bring into the NFL. I mean, that's what it's about. It's his ego. It's his money, rich situation, and it's not about winning for him as much as it is being competitive and being in the news, making noise, bad or good. So this situation is bad from this front office. I mean, that's why we just, we hate talking about the same. If we were still going live every single day, this is what you would hear every day. I mean, you're just getting it once a week right now. It's a lot better, I think. Yeah. It keeps me from having a fucking aneurysm. So, anyways, while we don't have CeeDee Lamb currently in camp and he's holding out, we do have a couple of new guys in Big D with some moves by the front office, and I'm gonna give it to, how about we give it to Will McClay, because he's the guy that's really the only one doing shit really that's real shit behind the scenes. But
yeah, Jerry might be the GM in title, but Will McClay is probably the closest thing to a
standalone non-Jones GM.
Yes,
because Stephen Jones is he's a GM, but he's far from a GM because he can barely do salary caps, that motherfucker. So listen, Will McClay, he's the one that evaluates the talent. The pieces that we need or not, according to the coaches. So he does a lot of that stuff. So let's start it off, baby. I know we talked about this behind the scenes, but we didn't talk about it with the family yet. The Cowboys made a trade. What? Oh, my God. What the hell's going on? Yes, the Cowboys actually made a trade. And for a good player, not a great player, and I get a little older now, but a good player, solid player. Let's go through this, guys. The Cowboys made a trade a couple days ago, adding, and again, if you saw we have shorts come out with the news of this stuff, so you can keep up with this there if we're not live when this stuff happens. But the Cowboys added defensive tackle, and I'm going to be more specific. Nose tackle. That's big. Nose tackle. Jordan Phillips. Now, he was with the Giants. You say, I didn't see him with the Giants because he was with the Bills. He just went to the Giants this offseason. And, I'm going to be honest, guys, there was a point I'm going to go over it again, but he was going to retire this year, it sounds like. But he went back. The Giants signed him. And then the Giants, the word was they were going to cut him. So they traded him to the Cowboys. Now, here's what the deal was. The Giants sent a 7th-round pick. They gave us a 7th-round pick. The Giants sending a 7th-round pick to the Cowboys in exchange for a 6th-round pick. That's all it is. It's a swap of basically they're giving us an extra 7th-rounder, and we're giving them an extra 6th-rounder. We just go. It's basically flipping spots. We're not even losing a pick. We're just going from the end of the 6th, let's say, to the end of the 7th, and they're going from the end of the 7th to the end of the 6th, more or less. That's what's going to happen. Well, actually, I should say they're going from the beginning of because again, that's right. I'm sorry, the Giants. Let's say they end up worse. They'll be at the beginning of the 7th, and we'll be at the end of the 6th if we're better than them. So the drop is like maybe 20 spots, and we get Jordan Phillips on this team. So who's Jordan Phillips? Now, if you guys recall back a couple of years ago, I've been talking about this guy being a possible nose tackle that we need on this, the kind of guy we need. Now, this is when he was at his better point of his career. He's at the end of his career right now. But let's go through some of the things, guys, all right? And I do believe the Cowboys will have more of these kind of little late round swaps and trades going on, maybe with another player or two in the next couple of weeks. So keep that in mind. But let's go through it, guys. Jordan Phillips is a 2015 second-round pick of the Miami Dolphins. He played his college career at Oklahoma. Now, this is a big guy. Nose tackle. 6'6", 330 pounds. People are saying he's more like 340, 350. Okay. I'm just saying. So he's a big man in the middle. And he's always been a very good, I would say, nose tackle. It's not very, nose tackles don't get sacks. But he actually has, 62 career starts. He's a versatile player, and he has a pass rush ability. Again, let me reiterate this, guys. This is one of the reasons why the Cowboys got Mozzie Smith was because he's a guy that for the future could kind of show some pass rushing ability from the nose tackle spot, which is rare. This guy, Jordan Phillips, does this. In his career, he's been a very good pass rusher. I know some people say, well, who cares? He got 25 sacks and whatever in 8 years or whatever. For a nose tackle, that is very high. So I just want to make sure we understand, put things in perspective and in context when it comes to some of these guys. So 6'6", 330 pounds, and that's on the light side, I think. He's a little bigger than that. 62 career starts, a versatile player, and it's about Mike Zimmer. Zimmer needs a guy like this. This is a Zimmer move. I should maybe have Zimmer up there and say Will McClay, but Zimmer's telling McClay, hey, I need a guy like this. And then Jones gave the green light for McClay to look for someone like this, but also cheap. Trade cheap. Money, Hallie's cheap.
Usually it's more of a, like, they kind of give their thoughts or their contributions, but at least in this case, he was able to say, like, no, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
this is what I want.
Yeah, so again, I'm telling you guys, so now, when you look at Phillips, I think I have to go through it again. I think he has 25 sacks in his career for Phillips. But again, in his career, 9 years. But for a nose tackle, that is a lot. That is very good. Now, is he at that point now? Hell no. You go back to 2019, all right? He had 9.5 sacks as a nose tackle. Now, I don't care who you are. 9.5 sacks is a lot. And as a nose tackle, it's off the charts. Mm-hmm. Those are the years I was like, we need to bring this guy in here. Pay the money, bring him in. But, of course, Cowboys won't do that.
Now we get that same version, just the budget version.
I would say he's the lesser pass rush version now, but still a good run stopper and space eater. He is probably a little better than Jonathan Hankins. Similar situation, though, as a Jonathan Hankins, except we traded for him. And we're paying him basically what we would have paid Jonathan Hankins. So I guess we went down 20 picks and got someone a little better than Jonathan Hankins and paying him the same. I'll explain in a minute. So, again, 9.5 sacks in 2019. Not a pass rusher as well anymore, but still has some skill, can help Mozzie Smith learn. I think that's one of the big things, right?
That's huge, too.
Yeah, because we saw this with Tyler Smith and, like, Tyron Smith helping him and what's his name? The other, what was his name? On the outside that we brought in, the old guy.
Kendrick, no. Carl.
No, baby. I'm talking about a couple years ago.
Oh, okay, forget it. Sorry, I thought you meant, like, recently.
No, what's the offensive lineman? I can't believe I forgot his name. Oh, somebody will say it in the chat. But James Herr is saying it.
Thank you so much, James.
Yeah, because he dropped that $3 holla going through the Streamlabs, I think, right there.
That is right. Thank you so much, James Herr. I appreciate you. He said, I'll tell you this. Jalen Tolbert's happy that CD Lamb isn't there. In his mind, he's saying, stay on the fucking sideline, CD. It's my turn.
If you watch some of the video, Tolbert's taking over a bit, right?
Yep, and then he added in there, Lamb don't want to take that 33. Who cares? Killer drop against the Packers.
No, I agree. Against the Packers, he looked horrible. He was spaced out, in my opinion. But I also think that it's not, he had a bad game.
Jason Peters.
Thank
you so much, Tyrone Church.
Yeah, he helped out, Tyler Smith. So did Tyron Smith also help out. You're seeing that, I think, with Mozzie now. They wanted to bring in Hankins, helped, I guess, somewhat. Who knows? But they want a guy who can pass rush. Hankins couldn't pass rush. Phillips is a pass rusher as a nose tackle, and they want to see that out of Mozzie. That's the reason they use that first-round pick. They don't want just a run stuffer. Trust me, the Cowboys don't want. They want a run stuffer who can pass rush. So they're hoping Jordan Phillips is like the old version of what Mozzie will be through his career, and then become an old guy. When Mozzie's old, they want him to be like Jordan Phillips. You know what I'm saying? So that is, I think, a good reason to pick up a Jordan Phillips. Any quick thoughts from you, baby, on Jordan Phillips and kind of because to me he's going to be not really a starter. He's going to be a rotational guy that's going to come there and help Mozzie and spell Mozzie and Osa.
Yeah,
possibly.
I've said something similar here, but he's going to be a contributor, right? So, like you said, it's more the fact that it seems like part of the reason that he's here, outside of just general depth and things like that, it seems like the Cowboys are still not 100% about the things that Mozzie has been showing so far, or at least they don't feel confident enough to say, like, okay, yeah, he is ready to fill that Hankins role. Like, it sounds like he's not. So
yeah, I mean,
just throwing that out.
And
there,
Hankins' role. Remember Hankins' role. You got to remember that they don't want him to fill the Hankins role because Hankins is just a run stopper. They want him to do Hankins and pass rush. So in a way, they kind of want him to fill the, now I guess you can call it the Jordan Phillips hole. Not hole, but the Jordan Phillips mold of what when he was young. They want to see Mozzie develop into a pass rushing run stopper. And I think that's the key here. But I'm just saying, I know you gave your thoughts. I'm interrupting it.
Yeah,
I just want to kind of
the point is that I feel like the person who should be the most kind of aware is Mozzie. So he needs to take advantage of the type of knowledge and skill sets that he can maybe more personally learn. Like you said, it's they have similar styles, and it seems like the Cowboys have similar desires for the way that they want to use both of them. I should say Cowboys. I should say Zimmer. Let me be specific there. Yeah, because Zimmer is the one who obviously has the ideas and the plans here in that regard. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like it comes down to the fact that I believe more in Zimmer, not necessarily that I believe that somehow Mozzie is going I think Zimmer is the one who's
Zimmer's
going to
scheme is going to open up things for Zimmer.
Bring out the best in Mozzie and others. So, but I'm actually a fan, honestly, just in an overall, just throwing this out there. I'm a fan of pretty much all the defensive moves that we've made so far. Again, it's slightly surprising, at least from the Cowboys side of things, like some of the things that they've done so far. I'm just saying, like, it's
they haven't done
a
anything much.
Surprise.
Well, outside of saying they're going to go all in and do nothing, now they're starting to do moves, this is a Cowboy time period where they like to do their free agent moves because they spend very little money. So, anyways, let me just add to this. So, I truly think that they are they're going to use, Jordan Phillips. They're going to use them in a rotation with Mozzie and Odigizua. I think you're going to also see, for example, let me give you the example. Whoever starts, I don't really care. It will probably be Mozzie, just to say that, hey, our first round pick is starting. But Jordan Phillips is going to get a lot of reps in there. And I also think even the rookie, Justin Rogers, these are 3 pure nose tackles. 3 one-techs. These guys go over the center or to the left or right of the center. All 3 of these guys. And let me reiterate again, it's Mozzie Smith, our first-round pick last year, in his second year. After a bad first year, it's going to be Jordan Phillips, who's going to be definitely number 2 in the mix there to spell him some, or maybe in certain situations they play both Mozzie and they play Jordan Phillips. And then you got Osa, of course, as a 3-tech, but you're going to have another possibility in there as another 1-tech possibility is the rookie this year, 7th-round pick, Justin Rogers from Auburn, who I like a lot. He's not a pass rusher, though. He's only a run stuffer. And he's still doing a good job of that. I've seen him push forward, not get pushed backwards. So we've actually, again, here's the thing. The Cowboys, by not getting anyone and making us basically desperate, thirsty for any player, we get someone like Jordan Phillips, and that seems like a huge move. It's not a huge move, but not for most teams. But for our team, it unfortunately is a huge move because we don't make fucking moves. So this is a big help to the interior. If we had kept Hankins for the same price, we would have had a pick 20 picks higher. Let's just say 30 picks higher. That's a difference. No money difference. So obviously the player is the difference, and it's a Zimmer player. Hankins not a Zimmer player, but Jordan Phillips is a Zimmer type guy, exactly. A pass rusher from the inside. So that's the key here. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else to say about this move here. Cowboys are trying to show a sense of urgency, in my opinion, by building a better run defense. And you got a guy who can stop the run, and also he's not going to be moved. He takes 2 double teams easily, and he still got some pass rush ability. Again, getting a player within the division, which is the Giants, of course, right? Even if he was supposedly going to retire, or the Giants might have cut him, we're giving up nothing for him and not have to go and go into a bidding war with someone, or someone else signs him off waivers before we can get to him. So I will say this, though. One of the biggest knocks against Jordan Phillips is the fact that he's never started a full 16 or 17 game season.
So a Tyron Smith-esque situation.
He's always going to be injured in some way. Now, the key is, as a starter, that's when he gets injured, right? But I think we're going to use the LVE, maybe some other, kind of mindset situations in a rotation. Like I said, he's not going to start only. He's a guy who's going to play a lot less on his plate every week. He might take 20 snaps instead of 60 snaps. Or I say 60, but let's say 40 snaps or 50 snaps. He's taking 20 now in a game. So I think that's where the Cowboys' rotation on defensive interior line, we needed help there. We got help there. Right? We got better no matter what. We got better on the interior defensive line. Thank you, Will McClay, for doing what you can with what you're given to work with by the Joneses. Let's keep it real here. That's one guy. We brought in another guy. By the way, any quick thoughts on Justin Phillips from the chat? Just Justin Phillips. I'm sorry, I keep saying Jordan Phillips. Damn it.
Jordan Phillips. Not about him specifically, but Kamine, the 602, said Zimmer is exactly who we needed.
I agree. With the players we have in this team and the guys he's brought in, even if there are a couple of them like Kendricks, fits Zimmer perfectly. And this kind of disguised defense. We have the players to do this. And Zimmer's the guy, I think. And McClay's helping this out with these moves. So, another move the Cowboys made. Let's not forget, there's still free agents out there. We made another defensive line move. Cowboys, after losing a couple of, again, guys, we've lost some guys with injury. I'll explain in a minute here. And we signed 2 defensive players last week. Remember, we signed Shaka Toney and Al-Qadin Muhammad, who I think is the better of the two. But the Cowboys yesterday also signed, and this was like 4 a.m. to some of you guys, the Cowboys signed edge rusher Carl Lawson, who also worked out with those 2 guys I just mentioned last week. The Cowboys did not sign him. Now they're signing him. So it's a move a lot of the Cowboy fans wanted because they know the name. He has the best stats out of everybody. When he was brought in, I think a week and a half ago, to the facility. But the Cowboys went in a different direction. Like I said, they went with Shaka Toney, and they went with Al-Qadin Muhammad. Toney, and maybe you guys don't know this, I'll bring it up anyways, but he was released just yesterday as well. So he was released, and he got injured. He got a little banged up in practice. Cowboys released him. And now made room for Carl Lawson. So basically Carl Lawson replaces Shaka Toney. Now, I just want to reiterate really quickly about Carl Lawson.
Yeah.
He's not the guy he used to be. That's number one, obviously. He's also had an injury history. We got Jordan Phillips with injury history. We got Carl Lawson with injury history. It's kept him off the field throughout his career. However, when Carl Lawson is in the game, in his career, he's made plays. He currently, again, right now he's tallied 27 sacks in 73 games. Has 150 pressures on the quarterback, 83 quarterback hits, and a pressure percentage of 13.1%. So this guy, when he's in the game, he gets to the quarterback. Kind of reminds me a little bit like a Dante Fowler type depth guy. You know what I mean? So don't have Sam Williams. Carl Lawson sounds like we got back a little bit of losing Armstrong and losing Dante Fowler. We got a little bit back with Carl Lawson. It feels like it. Maybe with him and Al-Qadin Muhammad, we get like an Armstrong Fowler combo there. Maybe. I just my 2 cents on this. The problem is last year he only played in 6 games. And he didn't play in any games in 2021. So over the last 3 years, I mean, my God, I think he did play all 17 games though in 2022. So again, 23 games he's played in 3 years. Only of those 3 years, 1 year he didn't play any. 1 year he played all of them, and the other year he played only 6 last year. So it's up and down, hit and miss with him. You don't want to overuse him. Like Jordan Phillips, they'll be broken early if you do that. So, again, unfortunately, he's only played the entire season only twice in his career so far. If he's healthy, a great addition. Dante Fowler-ish, in my opinion. And with a lot of uncertainty behind Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. No Sam Williams now, right? We got Marshawn Nealon taking a lot of snaps. He's a rookie. This move felt necessary. So I think Carl Lawson is there to kind of give us that veteran depth that we so very much need. Even Golston's having some good snaps and all that stuff. Still, we don't have that real veteran depth. Carl Lawson is in the mix now. With over 3 weeks and 2 preseason games left, Carl Lawson has a chance to get acclimated to the roster and to the team and really has a chance to play maybe a little more of an important role in the Cowboy rotational defense in 2024. So something that, again, Carl Lawson, I want to know what you guys think about him, but I do want to throw out a couple of last things about Carl Lawson. In every season that he's played, at least 300 pass rushing snaps, which is, maybe if he's played a good part of the season at pass rushing, he recorded at least 50 pressures, and he's recorded better than a 14.5% pass rush win rate. So he gets to the quarterback. He gets pressure on the quarterback when he's rushing over 300 times in a season, pass rushing. Keep that in mind, guys.
So it's one of those weird catch-22s where if you want to get the best out of him, you need to play him just enough. Yeah. But obviously, if he's not, let's just say, looking the best, he's not going to get that type of play time that he would need to get there.
Correct. And I think, and that's why I think Carl Lawson is Dante Fowler-ish, while you get something where, like, you're still getting that Al-Qadim Mohammed, who's kind of more of a Dorrance Armstrong-ish. So I think we're getting those kind of like the lesser versions of those guys. But at least we know kind of what they're looking for in Dallas. At least it seems like that. So Carl Lawson, just so you guys understand, when he's in the game, he's pretty effective when he's healthy. He leverages a strong get off the line of scrimmage. He has very effective footwork and powerful hands to defeat tackles at the edge. He can work the edge very well and box in runs and that kind of stuff. So again, you hear that Dorrance Armstrong kind of ability, which is also DeMarcus Lawrence type ability. He has an excellent rip move when he uses speed to win on the high side. He also has a cross chop move. Maybe he's going to talk to DeMarcus Lawrence, but he uses that to win high side as well. He has a good bull rush, pushing into the offensive lineman, back into the quarterback, and when he does a good bull rush, he's able to get underneath the tackle's chin and creates kind of a lifting action as he's pushing his feet back, almost like he's moving a sled. So that's the way he uses the bull rush on offensive tackles. Now, when it comes to the pass rush repertoire, he has, he has long arms. So you got to remember, he has very long arms, Carl Lawson, which he uses with very good expert timing and very good expert placement. So he's very good at this technical stuff here. He can high side with a long arm chop. He can low side with a long arm shot put, and also go through, which is basically a traditional long arm bull rush to opposing offensive tackles. Basically, guys, Carl Lawson, kind of like Jordan Phillips, very important rotational piece to stop the run and help Mozzie learn the pass rush maybe a little bit there. This Carl Lawson pickup with limited, with rotational use, not starting use, rotational use. If he can show us a 2022 kind of form, he could be a huge help for the Cowboys this year. And a big, I guess you could say the biggest help is in losing Sam Williams. That could be the Carl Lawson factor. So, any thoughts on the chat about Carl Lawson? Because I know I like the move. I like both of these moves. I like Jordan Phillips. He needs to get out there and get in a rotation and get used, but not overused. And I like this Carl Lawson free agent signing. Got to get some usage out of him. You just can't have him on the practice squad. Get him out there, get him some snaps, get him in the rotation. And if they use him and use him right, not overuse them, they will bring some good, positive results from the defense, in my opinion.
Chris Plumage said, the defense might be the way to go. You've got to play better than they did against the Packers last time that we saw them out on the field.
Yeah, everyone blames Dak, and Dak made mistakes, but that defense was horrific. And it was Dan Quinn, the run sets, all that stuff. They had 13 personnel, and we had small linebackers. That's 2 linebackers and small ones. Using safeties. That's bad coaching. That's on Dan Quinn. But yeah, I hear you. We got to be better on defense. If we are, we control the game. Every game we control. Regular season, playoffs. If we have if we can stop the run, basically, that's the last piece we need to nail in there. We get that, we will control most. Even if we're having a bad game, we'll still be in the game because of the defense.
Which again, love to see it, right? Top Dog, by the way, said both of these guys need to definitely be on a snap count.
I 100% agree, but they also need to be taking snaps, right? So I agree. They need to be balanced properly. The whole point
of the snap count is just that. Find that, sweet spot where, like you said, they're getting the necessary reps. They're able to show what they've got, maybe progress a little bit more, while also managing them carefully to make sure that, they don't explode before we even get the chance to use them. Or,
Well, I agree. We got to get the most out of them. before, they
Just
blow a
no
gasket.
one got hurt there too.
Yeah,
So.
yet. Although Shaka Tony, we bring him in, he's out already because he got injured. But it happens, right? Anyways,
So.
I'll continue if you want because
Yeah.
there's a couple other ones. Remember, no Shaka Tony. The Cowboys waived him. He got injured. I think I'd mentioned that already. But here's the deal, guys. The Cowboys also signed another player, an offensive lineman. Yeah, Cole Cabral. CC. Cole Cabral. Cole, C-O-H-L. Cabral, C-A-B-R-A-L. I don't know what he's going to be doing. I think he's number 62 out there, I think. But the Cowboys didn't just get, a trade for a interior trench guy in Jordan Phillips, and then just get another trench guy on defense to pass rush or edge, set the edge on the defensive, end. The Cowboys went on the offensive side and also picked up another trench player on the offensive line. The Cowboys signed offensive lineman Cole Cabral. This happened on Wednesday, by the way. Now, he worked out for the Cowboys. Cowboys signed him when? Well, there was an injury that occurred. And I'll go through that a little bit more when I talk about the practices and injuries. But offensive lineman Earl Bostic got kind of rolled on and got injured. When he went down, guys, he was carted off of practice earlier this week. It was the joint practice against the Rams. Yes, the Cowboys had a bonus joint practice against the Rams, but unfortunately, Earl Bostic not really having a good season. Anyways, and I say season last year and this year, and when it comes to preseason, not looking great out there, missing blocks. But better than some other guys we have. He got hurt, so he's out. We don't know how. Again, not sure how long he's going to be out yet, but he had an ankle injury in his joint practice against the Rams. Cabral entered the league as an undrafted free agent in 2020, and he bounced around different teams. He was with the Rams, the Texans, the Vikings, the Saints, and the Cardinals. He made the practice squad of the Saints. He also made the practice squad of the Vikings and Texans, but never, ever has played in a regular season NFL game. So, now I will say he did play in the USFL and the UFL.
So little bit of
another Will McClay
time experience. Obviously, it's not the same, but it's not nothing. It counts for something.
Yeah, he used to. It's funny. He used to be on the Birmingham team there. Then went to the the Michigan Panthers of the UFL. Now with the Dallas Cowboys. Now the corresponding move was waiving edge rusher Shaka Tony. He had an injury designation. He injured his groin, if you're wondering. This has happened 2 weeks after he signed with the Cowboys. So number 72 is now gone. At least that number 72, the old Ed Too Tall Jones number, Shaka Tony, is not on the team anymore. So now that we got to this point, I do want to actually express that the number some numbers are reissued here. I think 72, I think 62 is Cole Cabral, but Jordan Phillips has been assigned a number with the Cowboys. And I like this number 98. It kind of fits that nose tackle, feasting time. So you see, number 96 is Justin Rogers, the rookie. Number 98 is now Jordan Phillips. You're going to see they're both going to look the same when it comes to those numbers, a little crunched up on their bellies. You're not going to see if it's going to be an 8 or a 6. We're going to get confused probably. But both big guys are in the middle there. And, of course, the other guy's Mozzie, 58. So, anyways, Jordan Phillips, guys, he's going to wear number 98. And Carl Lawson, who I just went into detail about, he's wearing number 72. Again, this is the number that Shaka Tony just lost. Also, remember, pass rusher, Ed Too Tall Jones, one of my favorites. Old school there. Yeah, number 72 made famous by Ed Too Tall Jones. Now Carl Lawson, will he give me a little Ed Too Tall Jones feel? Probably not, but we're hoping something, right? Now, I do want to go back real quick on Jordan. Last thing about Jordan Phillips, that defensive tackle in the rotation with Mozzie. Jordan Phillips' contract. He has 1 year on this contract, $1.79 million. $430,000 is guaranteed. And the cap hit is only $1.78 million. So, again, what would have been Jonathan Hankins' number? About $1.8 million. So obviously it's just about the type of player. We didn't want just a run stuffer. We didn't want a veteran run stuffer only. We want a veteran run stuffer that has the knowledge of pass rushing ability, which Jordan Phillips does have. And I think, again, that is to help mold Mozzie Smith. So,
exactly.
Again, he was considering a retirement, this guy. Comes back for one more year to help at the time, the Giants defensive line. Now he's here to help the Cowboys defensive line. High-value rotation, high-value teacher for our young guys like Mozzie, specifically him. So just wanted to update you guys on those little ins and outs on our new players. Also, we have, since we're going to talk a little training camp here, we have a training camp, update when it comes to, of course, this week, and I do want to say there was 3 practices this week. There was a kind of a walkthrough type practice. Then there was another joint practice with the Rams, which was added literally earlier after our Sunday.
That was not originally necessarily part of the schedule.
Yeah, it was not part of the schedule, but it was able to work. So as we take McClay out, I'll throw up some of the video, I guess you can say, as I go through some of the some of the news here as far as training camp is concerned. Let's watch some of the video. This is the walkthrough, I think, and we'll go through this in a minute. But I do want to say this, guys. Training camp update back in Dallas. This is the walkthrough. Here's Dallas coming out. The Cowboys camp, they leave Oxnard August 22nd. That is after this. That is after this week against the Raiders. We have another kind of couple of days of practice. And then before the finale at home, we leave Oxnard for good on the 22nd, which is the preseason finale in Dallas against the Chargers. Then, after the Charger game, the Cowboys are going to hold 2 open practices at the Star facility in Frisco. Tuesday, August 27th, 6 p.m. Central Time. And Wednesday, the next day, 2 back-to-back days there, the 27th of August and the 28th of August, both at the same time, starting at 6 p.m. Central. So if you guys want to get in there and get a game, get to see a game, go for it. As Dak is there chilling with his little baby girl. Hashtag girl dad. So again, that was just a walkthrough day. The Cowboys are hosting a free open to the public training camp practices on both those days, August 27th and 28th at 6 p.m. Central. The doors, though, at the Ford Center Field will open at 5 p.m. Central Time each night. So you got to get there like at 4:30 if you want to really, or even earlier. Now here you see this is the scrimmage day, guys. We scrimmaged them last week. We played the Rams in preseason, the first game, and then we're scrimmaging them again. Now, this is before we got to the scrimmage, but you can see them. These guys doing a little work inside.
Seabass is asking real quick. Is Cooks really injured? Because he's getting the news a little bit later than he normally might. So
and it's perfect timing because I am basically to that point where we're going to discuss some of these updates at training camp, and I'll explain them in a minute here. As you see here, you're going to see Tyler Guyton just crushing the Rams pass rushers all day long. I think I forgot this guy's name, but he's angry. Here's Cooper Beebe handling business too, loving it. So and this is going to come to fruition for this Raider game. So, again, when you look at the game against the Rams, now this is the game, the preseason game against the Rams, and you're seeing our defense up here. This is the rookie here, but Mozzie Smith was very improved over last year against the Rams. He did a good job with his initial hands, getting off the ball, and staying connected to his gap assignments. The biggest critique was that he was slow to shed a couple of the blockers. So he got caught up a couple of times. A lot better this time around than last time around. So, again, big shout-outs to Mozzie having a good game in preseason against these Rams. Damone Clark and DeMarvin Overshown playing a lot of time, number 18 and number 13 on the field. They fell back a lot from their run fits versus a pull. When someone's pulling, you don't want to hit that gap because you know that it's going to be running to another direction. The linebackers did a great job. Both Damone Clark and Overshown fell back on their run fits when the Rams pulled. That's what you want to see. We never saw that with the Cowboy defense, I don't think, in a very long time. DeMarvin Overshown done a great job staying patient while reading his keys before attacking the run. In Texas, the Longhorns, he was a lot of times out of control, which would lead to open holes all over the place, vacated run fits. But now, Overshown looks much more under control, and he's still flowing and hitting hard and going to the ball quickly. I love it. He's doing a great job. Overshown looking good. Marquise Bell moving from linebacker to safety. He's doing a great job from safety in run support. At the time at linebacker, you can see some fights going on in these back and forths with the offense and defensive lines, and it gets a little crazier here in a minute. But Marquise Bell doing a great job. He does a great job learning last year at linebacker, navigating through traffic to get to the ball carrier. He did a great job. Now look at this. Here's our new guy, Albert Higgins. What? He just shoved an assistant to the ground for no apparent reason. I know things get hot and heated out there. I know it gets crazy. I know that there's a lot of, adrenaline going, but my goodness, you cannot shove just some teenager or some fucking young guy out there who's just helping out, assistant for the team. You shove him like that.
I get it. Like, I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying that I understand it was just kind of like in the moment, the instinct type of thing. But you have to control that. Like, thank goodness it wasn't during
the coach
a game or something.
Yeah, the coach threw him out. Well, the game, it's different.
You know what I mean? Like, had that something like that happened in a game time situation, like that's
the defensive line coach Jeff Zaganina has threw him out immediately. He said, "What the fuck are you doing? And get the fuck out of my field." And he threw him out. I think McCarthy made a comment about that, saying that he liked the way the coaches handled it.
Yes, he liked the way that the coaches handled it, and that he spoke personally with
to
Huggins, and basically got him to, like, it just talked it out, right? Like he said, it was a spur of the moment thing. There wasn't anything malicious behind it, but that cannot happen again.
Right, and listen, I'm going to say this: the guy probably is going to hurt his chance to make the team. Without question.
Oh, absolutely.
In the Jimmy Johnson days, when you have a guy who's like the last in the rotation there, he gets cut when he does something stupid like that. Now, you see some more practice here, guys. I'm not going to go through it. You guys have eyes. You guys can see it. But just finishing up on the Rams game, kind of one last thing on especially the defense. I'm talking a lot of defense here. The Cowboys showed, what kind of defense did we show under Zimmer? A lot of cover 4, a lot of cover 2, and a lot of pressure in that first preseason game against the Rams. And what did we come away with in that game? 4 interceptions. Could have been 5. 4 interceptions. But I love seeing when you watch the defensive backs, and this is all run by Zimmer. The cornerbacks are passing off the underneath routes to the linebackers, and they become the new hole player before, a quarterback can try to thread the ball. All of a sudden, the guy who was following stops in the window you were going to throw in. I've seen that happen multiple times that caused interceptions. Whether it was our best guys or our worst guys, a second stringer or a fourth stringer, they all were doing a great job in Zimmer's defense. That's what's great. Another play I saw in that Rams game, a weak safety in the cover 4, went across the trip side. He was on one side of the field, went across to the trip side to undercut and got the pick. This is the disguises of Zimmer. You have a guy on the other side. He's the whole purpose. He knows his trips on the other side. Zimmer sends him across underneath the trips routes to either make it staticky or get the pick. And that's what happened. So I really like what Zimmer's bringing to this defense and the way we're doing it. Listen, you see here the offense. Look at Cooper Beebe just blocking. But, Tyler Guyton did a great job in this Rams game. Here, I think this might be Tyler Guyton here. Oh, no, this is not him. I don't know. But the point is, Tyler Guyton, number 60, one of the highest graded first-round rookies of week 1 of preseason. Nate Wiggins from the Ravens was 89.2 by PFF. Graham Barton, 85.2. Jaden Daniels, 85.1. J.J. McCarthy, who is now out for the season, quarterback for the Vikings. That's big blow for them. 84.9. And Tyler Guyton had an 80.7 rating there. Grade in week 1. Not just was he, let's say, 4th on this or 5th on this list, he was the highest among all rookie tackles. He had the highest grade in preseason this week 1. So big shout out there to number 60, showing out in this Rams game, and this, of course, the scrimmage. You don't see number 71 in there. Why? Chuma Edoga. He is banged up. He got hurt, guys. We know he got hurt. Unfortunately, he is dealing. What's the injury about? We're going to talk about injuries now. He's dealing with a dislocated left big toe.
Ouch. As
well as other damage to that toe joint. Now, right now, no surgery is required, but they're looking at a prolonged recovery and rehab process that will probably have Chuma Edoga miss a bunch of regular season games. So we're looking at 2 months, possibly. He is gone. That means Tyler Guyton is now the starter.
Time to step it up.
So, again, he's going to miss to an upwards of 2 months due to this injury in the preseason game against the Rams. Surgery is still being discussed, but not official. If the Cowboys want him to return at any point this season, he has to somehow be carried onto the active roster for at least one day before being moved to IR. Now, the Cowboys can do that without having... Listen, there's different ways the Cowboys can do this because the Cowboys can... There's a new amendment for 2024 when it comes to rosters. Teams can designate 2 players to return without carrying them on the active roster for one day, but it is a transaction that has to be done on cutdown day, not before. So all the moves they're going to do with Chuma Edoga will come on the day of cutdowns. And listen, we got guys like CJ Goodwin and guys like, Trent Zieg. We can cut and then they can't sign anywhere else. They have to come back to Dallas. That stuff is done all the time. So we'll probably keep Chuma Edoga on the roster, cut CJ Goodwin to a point where he's on a veteran contract. He has to come back the next day. And then we move Chuma Edoga to the, short-term injured reserve. That's probably what's going to happen with Chuma Edoga. I'm just letting you know what's going on, guys. So, here you see Earl Bostic, 64, getting taken off the field with that injury. It's not looking good for him. So, what's going to be the outcome of this Chuma Edoga injury? He's going to miss an extended amount of time. Tyler Guyton's going to take over as starting left tackle, getting a lot more reps. This also means Cooper Beebe is going to start getting more reps with the first team unit as a starting center. That's what he did during these practices. Pretty much every practice, it was Cooper Beebe starting at center. And also, Awesome Richards is going to get more work at left tackle as the backup to Tyler Guyton. So that's number 76. That's the trickle-down effect of the Chuma Edoga injury. Now, what about the other injury stuff you guys been asking about? Brandon Cooks, real quick. He left practice on Thursday. Thursday's practice, he was injured. He did get up under his own power at his own request. And again, not going down on a drill for... Hold on, let me do this here because this is actually the Thursday practice we're going to put up on the screen now, so keep an eye on it. But there's no injury of Brandon Cooks in this. That is our new player. What is he? 61. There he is. Cabral, the new offensive lineman. So anyways, Brandon Cooks left on his own power. All right? He, again, went down the drill kind of at his own request. Like he's like, give me a second. He kind of sat down. Then he got evaluated in the medical tent and in the locker room. So Seabass, I know he's asking about this, but right now we know he did not return, and it sounds like it's just precautionary. All right.
All right.
It sounds like here's what I heard. He's managing some knee soreness, and it really just comes from one day after. This is the day he kind of was sat out of practice. This practice here was just after the Rams scrimmage. So that Rams scrimmage, it looks like he just got a little soreness, and they're just giving him kind of a break here. That's what it looks like for this Thursday scrimmage here, Thursday practice. As you can see, Dak, he's like, let me get to Tolbert here, who's our number 1 right now. Bam. Big play there against DaRon Bland and Donovan Wilson deep. And by the way, great news, because Donovan Wilson got hurt. He's out there playing safety, although him and Bland did a good job coming back to that, but still great catch. Good pass, great catch by Tolbert. So, Overshown, guys, he got banged up a little bit. A former 3rd-round pick left the scrimmage against the Rams, and it was basically described as a hip pointer. So good news, a precaution was held out of practice. In this practice, number 13, DeMarvin Overshown, did not play. So again, but he was working off to the sideline with trainer Britt Brown, and it's going to be very unlikely that Overshown participates in this Raider game. All right? It's not impossible, but don't expect him to play in this game against the Raiders with his tweaked injury right here for Overshown. We don't want to play any games with him. Damone Clark, number 18, linebacker. Again, the young linebackers on this team right now are going to have to step up in this preseason game because it sounds like also against the Rams, Damone Clark got a little banged up, and it sounds like it's a little soreness to his knee. So they're just going to rest him for this Raider game. But these guys will be okay. If it's a regular season game, Overshown, Brandon Cooks, Damone Clark, they'd all probably be playing this game. So, again, I do want to say that Damone Clark is having one of his best camp. This is his 3rd year. Yeah. This is his best camp he's had in all 3 years so far. And the Cowboys don't want to risk unnecessarily making any issues worse with his soreness in his leg by forcing him to play this game with the regular season right around the corner. So I like resting everybody right now. Now, like I said, Shaka Tony's been cut. He was having a preseason battle. He got hurt against the Rams, and that's why we cut him. I'm not going to go into him. And I say the Rams, I mean in the scrimmage game, there. And then, I'm sorry, the preseason game. Nate Thomas, offensive lineman, right now undisclosed injury. But Nate Thomas has been absent from practice. He's an undrafted rookie. I'm sorry, no, he's not. He's a 6th-round rookie. I'm sorry, is he 6th or 7th? 6th-round rookie. Nathaniel Thomas. And right now, him being sidelined adds to the concern on the current depth of the offensive line. But it's more to me like this is a rookie and they're getting no real reps out there right now. And he's falling back on the depth of offensive line. Now, Chuma Edoga, I just went over that with you guys. Again, that right foot, right big toe dislocation, I think it was. And he left SoFi with a walking boot, right? So he will not be practicing. He's going to be out for at least a couple of months. So he's obviously not playing this game. Earl Bostic, we saw him. You just saw him get hurt. Another offensive tackle depth injury there. There is concern when it comes to Earl Bostic and his injury right now. We saw him carted off the scrimmage with the Rams with the leg injury. He was not able to put weight on his leg, and the return for him is undetermined. The extent of the injury sounds like it's pretty bad. Now, number 86, Luke Schoonmaker. We need this guy in the field. He's a 2nd-round pick last year, and he's shown not much. So it's not a secret. Entering this 2nd year, he needs to remain healthy. But in this 2nd training camp so far for him in his career, the Cowboys have seen very little from him there, okay? Again, just another hope that it's a minor road bump. He's described with having some kind of a groin injury, number 86. But he was able to return to practice. That's good news here. As Trey Lance goes down the field to Billy Johnson, number 13. Israel Mukuamu, number 24, versatile safety. But, he had been seeing a lot of work in camp. Last week got banged up. He played cornerback in some nickel coverages, playing safety and nickel. So, again, he's expected to miss some time. And we talked about it last week with that groin injury. It sounds like he's going to be gone for some time here. He did not take the field against the Rams in either of the joint practices or the preseason game. Cowboys are obviously monitoring that he could come back soon, but the probability is Mukuamu, he's going to be gone for a while still for at least training camp right now. And Royce Freeman, number 27, running back, brought him in one of the free agents we brought in here, veteran running back, left practice on Monday, August 5th. With that groin injury, did not return. He was evaluated, and the timetable is being determined right now. But, there's a battle for that running back position, and he's losing time there. He was sidelined, of course. He did not play in the preseason opener. Not going to listen. They're trying to rehab him to get him in, and returning to full duty right now. And it sounds like he will get in there against the Raiders tomorrow night. So that's good news for Royce Freeman. The last couple injuries, Tyler Guyton. I mean, he got banged up. He took some time off. He was, just sick. I think he had a cold or something like this. He's back out there, guy. He will be participating probably he had 20 snaps against the Rams. Let me do that. He had about 20 snaps against the Rams and SoFi. He was able to participate in individual drills on Tuesday. So, I do expect to see him against the Raiders this week for Tyler Guyton. Eric Kendricks, he won't be out there. He's a starter linebacker. He was a little bit banged up, guys, but he was held out of the 2nd practice this week. He had some back tightness, but he did get back in the field, full pads, moving very well, healthy. Again, probably not going to play. He's held out of the first preseason game, but there's no injury concerns for him. And Deuce Vaughn, we've seen him kind of bouncing around. Looks like he's kind of, been on the rehab side of things, from an injury, groin tightness, I think it was. But 2nd-year running back was absent from some of the practices earlier in the week. He's back now, though, guys. Back, and I'm telling you right now, he will be playing against the Raiders. So we get to see Deuce Vaughn coming back from injury as well. Sam Williams, he's out for the year. Ryan Flournoy, he got back into practice, like I said. Held out in the beginning of practice because of a knee issue. But now he's back in there, guys. And again, he needs to show out a little bit as well if he wants to kind of make a run at the receiver spot in this Raider game. And that kind of leads me to the last injury, which kind of, you don't want to tell me about it. It came on basically about maybe half an hour before we went live. Cowboys, Mozzie Smith. Status is right now uncertain for the Raider game. Probabilities he will not play. Number 58 will probably not play. Is the guess. We'll have to wait and see. Why is this happening? an allergic reaction from Mozzie Smith, guys. The Cowboys announced today, like an hour ago, that Mozzie Smith experienced an allergic reaction this afternoon at training camp. It resulted in him not being able to travel with the team today to Las Vegas for the Raider game for tomorrow's preseason game against the Raiders. He could still make it out there, but I would not bet on that, guys. He received treatment, and he's going to be reevaluated in the morning, in a couple hours, to see what his game status will be as far as updating that accordingly, following that evaluation of this allergic reaction. But I think I want to see Mozzie Smith. I want to see number 58 actually in the game. He needs as many game time reps as possible, in my opinion. So this was one of my, again, I'm finishing this up now, guys. And I know you have a couple of quotes from some of the players. But, my big thing is I wanted to discuss real quick what to watch for in this upcoming game against the Raiders. Now, we know this is just, we're watching backups and stuff here, right? But the Raiders, they're playing their starters for the first quarter tomorrow. So that's important for us. That's a big test for both sides, our offense and defense. We're going to get tested, mostly backups, right? Some rookies. They're going to be tested against starters, starting quality players. So that is extremely important, I believe, for this team to even grow farther. Let the Raiders play their starters. I don't care if we lose. Let the Raiders starters play against our backups. That's what I like that, and it makes our team better. It makes our backups better. That's what I want to see. So the first team defense will play for the Raiders as well. Their defense was much better than the offense during training camp this year. So that's something to kind of watch in this upcoming game against the Raiders. You want to evaluate something for this game tomorrow? Our offense versus this Raider defense, which again, out of the two sides, they easily won the training camp so far when it came to offense versus defense for the Raiders. So the Raiders defense looking really good. Yet, against the preseason game last week, the offense performed better than the defense did against the Vikings last week. The Vegas Raiders defense was pretty much running vanilla scheme. And it did have some good moments, but it also struggled. So, again, the first team defense, even though they're going to play, obviously not going to play a lot, maybe at most a quarter for the first team defense. But the Raiders want to see better overall play, and that's why I think they're pushing that first team defense out there this week. Which, again, I can't wait. I want our offense to go up against our backup offense and Trey Lance to go up against the first team defense of the Raiders. Watch Jack Jones. If he's going to be out there with the starters, he's been balling out in practice. And it comes to the defense for the Raiders. The run defense, is something to watch for the Raiders in this game because they'll have their starters in there. The Vikings last week against the Raiders had good success running the ball on the ground, especially as the game went on. They just overpowered the Raiders. The Raiders' backup defense needs to perform better against the Cowboys in stopping the run. And that's another thing. We're going to have, Rico Dowdle, maybe a little bit, but we're going to have like Deuce Vaughn playing. We're going to have, maybe Royce Freeman out there, right? We're going to have Lipke out there. We're going to have a bunch of guys fighting for a running back spot. And the Raiders got run over all over last week by the backups. So we have to see our backups kind of do what the Vikings did. Hopefully, with our backups, be able to run over the Raiders' backups. Because by the time you see Deuce Vaughn, these guys, they'll be later in the game. And both sides will have their backups by then. So that's kind of on the Raiders side. That's all I really got to look for when it comes to the Raiders versus us. Because again, guys, we're not breaking them down like a regular season game. But I will say this. Just let me go through a couple focal points here, baby. And then you get to your quick quotes, and then we'll call it a night here at MCF. But as you see our Cowboy offense and Cooper Beebe, he's going to get tested, Cooper Beebe. But what do you want to watch for this game when it comes to our guys? Well, on offense, Trey Lance is going to take 90% of the snaps, if not all the snaps, right? Mm-hmm. So Trey Lance, watch for him, number 19, Trey Lance. Also, you're going to see the debut of two running backs for the Cowboys. You're going to have Deuce Vaughn for the first time this year and Royce Freeman for the first time this year in a preseason game for the Cowboys. Also, we're going to be watching what else? The way rookie left tackle Tyler Guyton plays. against the starting. You go up against Max Crosby. I mean, Max Crosby is their starter. If they play their starters, Max Crosby is going to be close to what you're going to see with Myles Garrett in week 1. So I want Tyler Guyton to get tested by hopefully, Max Crosby. So I don't care if he gets beaten. I want him to get tested so he's a little more ready for the real day, week 1 against the Browns. So I want to watch Tyler Guyton. And of course, you see us looking at him right now, number 56. The center, who's going to be the starting center for this game, Cooper Beebe. So 2 rookies to watch on that offensive line. Quarterback Trey Lance, two new running backs, for at least 2 new running backs this year, as far as the first time on the field for a game, as in Deuce Vaughn back from injury, and Royce Freeman, a new running back, trying to fight for a spot. Deuce Vaughn missed preseason opener with a hamstring injury. The Cowboys also giving him a look at slot receiver. So look for Deuce Vaughn as a slot receiver too sometimes in this game. They're just trying to find a way of keeping him on the roster. He also is going to be involved in kick returns. So that's what you're going to see. We're watching this game, Deuce Vaughn. That's what you're going to see from him. Now, I also want to go to the defensive side for a minute. Because if Mazi Smith is able to play, even with this allergic reaction, if he's over it and ready to play, I would love to see how many snaps he takes in this game. It's probably going to be reduced now or completely gone because he is probably not going to play this game, guys. But again, he's continuing to grow from his disappointing first year. I would love to see more. Now, the fact that the Cowboys traded for a veteran, Jordan Phillips, on Wednesday has no bearing on the expectations that, Mazi Smith's in trouble for his job. Nothing at all. Phillips only improves the depth at the defensive tackle position, and he will work in concert with Mazi Smith, while also giving him a veteran sounding board to kind of learn from. So I don't know if we're going to see Jordan Phillips in this game, but like I said, that's where we're going to see the continued improvement of Mazi Smith. And there's Earl Bostic getting hurt, I think, there, yeah. So Jalen Brooks, number 83. Expect to see a lot from him in this game. He was off to a fast start last Sunday in the game against the Rams. He had a 43-yard pass catch from Cooper Rush that went deep, got us the first 3 points of that drive. Of the game, and on that drive, Brooks also has had, number 83, a solid training camp, turning heads. This is only his second preseason game, this year, of course, but it's offering him another chance to showcase his skills in a live, lights are on action, kind of deal under the lights. How can he perform under the lights again? I think he's going to continue to do well. He's not been fazed by that. Second-year receiver, 7th round pick with the Cowboys, and making plays on the field here in training camp and practice and in games. So it's keeping the coach's attentions. I think he's a lock at number 4 right now behind Tolbert. And I think he's going to keep the momentum going against the Raiders. So keep an eye on number 83 here. I think he caught the touchdown here, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, his athleticism for number 83 makes him a very big asset, not just on the offense, but for special teams. And right now there's a very fierce competition at receiver. So again, he'll use week 2 to up the competition and to up his, stake his claim basically for that fourth spot at receiver in the depth chart there. I think he's locking that up pretty easily right now, in my opinion. Now, with Chuma Edoga being gone, I said we go back to Tyler Guyton. By the way, Chuma Edoga, 6 to 8 weeks is what they're saying for the toe, but Tyler Guyton is going to have the opportunity now to show why the Cowboys selected him 29th overall in the draft in the first round. Cowboys drafted the Oklahoma product with the expectation that Tyler Guyton would eventually become the starting left tackle for the Cowboys. What does this injury do with Chuma Edoga? It accelerates the timeline for him, right? The pressure is on, but now he can really improve. There's Tyler Guyton. We're going to need number 60 to see what he can do against the starters of the Raiders. That is such an important thing. Same thing with Cooper. Here's Tyler Guyton doing a great job. I want him to see him against Max Crosby. Cooper Beebe out there, number 56, center. Going to be doing the center snaps in this game. Here he is. I want to see him doing. What does he do against starting interior 3 techs and 1 techs? That's what I want to see from our rookie. I'm watching it very, very closely. Tyler Guyton's performance for the rest of the preseason is going to be crucial. He has to demonstrate athleticism, technique, and ability to protect the quarterback's blind side. If he can excel in these areas, he can solidify his position as the Cowboys' future left tackle and provide the coaching staff with the confidence that we all, and the fans, we need to see for week 1. Let's be real. Number 86, Schoonmaker, right? listen, he was disappointing in the preseason opener, in my opinion. He had 0 catches. A lot of blocking, 0 catches. This game against the Raiders is a crucial opportunity for Schoonmaker to redeem himself and show to be a reliable target. Come on. Now, fans, coaches are going to be watching number 86. See if he can make a positive impact on the field outside of the blocking side of things. Deuce Vaughn, we know about him. I expect to see him as a receiver and doing a lot of running in this game, a lot of snaps and the rotations in this game against the Raiders. But again, there's a lot of pressure on Deuce Vaughn to perform in these preseason games, because if he does not shine, guess what's going to happen to Deuce Vaughn? He's going to be cut.
Yep. The
good news, like I said, is Vaughn's done with his injury. He's back at practice. And, he's been looking kind of nice. So we'll see how he does against real action, week 2 of preseason. Now, here we're seeing the defensive line battles. And I know we're going to see the cheap shot shoved by our defensive linemen. But the battle for the starting center is up in the air. Obviously, Brock Hoffman, the starter right now. But right now, Cooper Beebe's getting a lot more reps and looks as the starting center. He has emerged as a serious contender. His impressive showing in the Cowboys preseason game against the Rams. I mean, I should really put up the whole video. It is fantastic. He had like 56 snaps for number 56. So he turned heads and showed his potential against the Rams in preseason. I want to see how that continues against the starters of the Raiders early in this game. Cheap shot here by Huggins. Yes, I know. But Beebe's ability to quickly adapt to the center position, despite the limited experience there, combined with his unbelievably solid blocking, run and pass protection, and overall football IQ, obviously catches everyone's attention. So to me, that performance he's had earned his increased reps and playing time this week in practice at center. And he's going to be I think he's the starter for the Cowboys at center tomorrow. So I expect to see a lot of number 56 Cooper Beebe. Keep an eye on him. I think he has a real legitimate chance to be the starter by week 1, Cooper Beebe, especially if he can snap that ball properly.
Yeah, and again, I love the fact that and again, we'll hear from him in a second here, but I just really love the fact that he genuinely seems to have earned where he's headed right now.
Oh, yeah. He's earning more chances.
To him because of where we drafted him.
Or the hype.
Or our expectations, the hype, the money. No, he's earning it the way that everybody else would.
And he's showing it. Just don't fuck up those snaps, right?
Exactly.
So, again, the other guy I want to kind of watch, and I don't know if he's going to play even yet, but I want to keep an eye on Carl Lawson. Yeah, I do. I know it may be too soon to play him. I want to see Jordan Phillips. I know it'd be too soon to play him. But I really would love to see both these guys be mixed into the preseason game. Expect to see number 94, the rookie Marshawn Nealon, to play a lot more in that Sam Williams role. Because I don't think these other guys, I don't think Carl Lawson will be ready to jump in there yet for this game. Maybe the last week of the season. Maybe the last preseason game. But not yet. I think you're going to see a lot of number 94 rookie, second-round pick, Marshawn Nealon in this game. So keep an eye on him. And even with the limited initial exhibition, limited action in the preseason game for Nealon, he did showcase his talent and has garnered some good feedback from the coaching staff, from McCarthy, saying good stuff about Nealon, the way he's playing, and really able to kind of, he's already developing as a pretty decent, edge rusher, more of a run stopper than an edge setter, I would say, more than an edge rusher. So everyone should be watching him in this second preseason game against the Raiders to see if he can maintain his impressive performance so far. So that's my breakdown of what to watch for. And T-minus 22 hours or 20 hours. We'll be live here with the game tomorrow for the Raiders Cowboys right here on My Cowboys Family, breaking it down, talking with you guys, and and getting into some back and forth thoughts from our side, the breaking down of things. Hopefully, knock on wood, no injuries, and your side of things in the chat, letting us know how you feel, what's going on in this Raider game, and what you want to see or not see, or you don't like or do like from the Cowboys' performance with the backups' depth. It's about depth and see who's going to make the team more than it is do we win or lose. I don't give a good goddamn if we win or lose this game.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I got to agree with Iceberg Slim here, saying Dak delusional fans. You're delusional if you think Trey Lance is a starting quarterback. Yeah. You're smoking. Yeah,
he looked horrible. Let's all agree. Trey Lance looked horrible. I am a Dak fan. I do not want to. I think Dak is the best quarterback for this team, but it doesn't hurt to have another good quarterback or two on this team too, right? So Trey Lance looked like shit. So those that think he's better than Dak, get off the freaking crack. It's not the case.
We are not watching the same game then.
Yeah, it's apples and oranges. It's not even the same sport. It's not even a fruit. It's like a fruit and vegetable. It's just two different entire. Trey Lance, it looks like an undrafted quarterback. And Dak looks like a first-round pick, like a third overall pick. So I'm just saying, generally speaking, Dak is the fourth rounder, and Trey Lance was the third overall pick. So, keep that in mind.
So, but yeah, big stars, exactly. Right now, QB3, that's Trey Lance. And I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Unless he has a great bounce-back situation here. I don't know. I'm not going to count on that. Let me just put it that way.
Let me see. Rolando Rodriguez throwing out there, 2 rookies starting on the O-line. That's a lot of future hope.
That is, but one of them is a first-round pick, so that always is solid. And then the other one is probably the best guard. Definitely the best guard in the draft. Should be in a first-rounder or second-rounder just to be a guard. No one wanted him. We got him in the third round as a center who can play guard. So get those snaps down, we'll be fine. I think he'll be fine.
So... No, I just want to roll back a little bit more, make sure I didn't miss any important comment here on this one. So,
well, if anybody has anything to say, guys, you know how to do this. And big shout outs to the guy who kicked it off, I guess, right? And James,
dog, right?
The top dog. Well, Dwayne Broussard, but he's got his new. I don't know if his second account, if he's gonna have both accounts, but he's rolling right now with Top Dog Bay Bullies. Big shout out to DB Dwayne Broussard for him back in the membership, but also dropping the pre-stream love. Also, James Herr. Dropping a little love in the Streamlabs. Appreciate you. And, hey, Marco Seppian, 78 points on the Stream Boss. So we ain't done yet, Rolando Rodriguez. We still got 2 more sections to go here. It'll be quicker. Baby, I know you got some comments from the players. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to do the July raffle to see who wins the jersey here, sewn and stitched. So, baby, hit me up with some of the comments from a couple of our players during this week, the important comments from this week's post-training camp interviews, I guess you can say, from the players.
So we'll go ahead and start with our esteemed quarterback, Dak Prescott. And don't worry, guys, this one is short and sweet. Dak did speak. He gave us kind of a small mini update on the contract situation with him personally, saying, if it happens, it happens. To be honest, it's the business. I'm really happy where I am right now, and that's where my focus is. I enjoy being a Cowboy 1,000%. I enjoy living in Dallas. I enjoy everything about it. But this is a business. Conversations are going well, but I'm thankful to be where I am right now.
Well, we know that Dak is expected to be signed. I know Dak Delusion on there is in the chat, but Dak is a million times better than Trey Lance, a million times better than Cooper Rush, and he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. That's not easy to do. You can go draft a quarterback 3 years in a row in the first round in the top 10, and they could still be, and usually are, shit. They usually are not even close to Dak. Just saying. So I'm not getting this with Dak. The Dak haters can hate Dak. That's fine. Is Dak worth $60 million? I don't think so. I do not agree with that. I don't think Dak is worth $60 million. But that is the quarterback market, and someone's going to pay it. So that's I feel about old Dak Prescott there. So who else spoke, baby? I know you had more than just our man Dak Prescott here, the leader of the offense and the quarterback of this team.
Of course.
Who else had some words?
So let's go ahead and talk about the other offensive player that we really wanted to hear from, right? So Cooper Beebe.
Ooh.
Guys, remember.
Number 56.
Yeah, with his current forward progress, let's call it, that he's been making. He was kind of pulled to the side and asked to talk a little bit about it, right? So don't get PTSD when I say this. Trust the process. That was genuinely some of the words and language that was used in regards to BB. So, and straight from him, he said, quote, "I think I'm doing pretty well. Going against their best guys helps and continues to prepare me for those looks versus the top guys. It's invaluable." So, of course, he's gotten tons of praise from, the coaches, McCarthy. So now we get to hear straight from him how he feels about that. He said, "When I went out there for my first preseason game, it was surreal. Getting that experience under my belt was a dream come true."
He needed it, too. And he looked good out there, guys. No joke.
Yeah. So, and again, he even added in there the fact that him not being like an automatic starter, it was a little bit extra motivation to kind of push himself. So I guess the Cowboys, made the right move in that regard, at least, right? He said, obviously, once you get in a game, it's easier. The playbook shortens down and it gets easier, but I think I've been doing well. There's some weird looks here and there that I'm going to continue working on, but overall, I think I'm doing pretty well. So, I guess he took it, I don't want to say personally necessarily, but yeah, he took it a little personal in a way.
Well, the reason I actually, I kind of want to, he took it, what part did he take personal? I'm just...
like the fact that he wasn't a starter right away,
well, he gets to earn it.
Like not, and again, like I said, it's not like he was all like rah, 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 but
yeah.
Like I said, it ended up being that extra motivation that he used to get to this point now, even just in the last few weeks. You know what I mean? So it reminds me of, if you're watching the receiver show? Right?
Yeah.
Where Amon-Ra St. Brown can still name every single receiver that was drafted in front of him. So, again, it gives me similar energy.
Well, I want you to just say one last thing here, and I want to do this. Take a look, I guess, while you read more of BB's comments, I want you guys to watch BB's performance in the All-22 footage of BB versus the Rams as a Cowboy player at center. Enjoy. You see him pointing it out there. At center, watch this while you hear what BB had to say. Go ahead, baby. Hit him up. Look at BB with the blocking. Look at that shit.
He said, it's become second nature. I just know that unless they say something to me, it was a good snap. I really don't worry about it anymore.
He could have helped down the left side better there, but damn. Again, I'm watching the snaps and I'm watching the blocking from 56 here. You see him right here, snapping to Trey Lance. Boom, snaps a good run block, a duo block, and then moves to the left. So good job by BB there. Go ahead. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, so, and by the way, Zach Martin is also, doing his veteran thing, and he's actually really taken BB a little bit under his wing. BB threw out there saying, quote, the biggest thing is that he shows me, as in Zach Martin, how to be a pro, how to take care of your body, how to study film, and the things that he looks for. It's that kind of stuff and just... little stuff that people don't think about that makes it the biggest difference. I think for me, it's how consistent he is with his sets and how he carries his hands. With him, every rep is the same, and that's the reason that he's great. Consistency.
Who am I to say I agree with Zach Martin? I mean, we know he's one of the greatest, right? But look at the consistency. He's so solid. He's very disciplined. He's technical, BB. And like the way that Zach Martin's saying, the way he carries his hands, the way he's consistent every play, we need that from center. We just need to be, the only thing he has to be consistent much more often with is the snaps. And he still had a snap issue here and there, but honestly, in this game, he had no snap issues.
And I'll never forget, while we were...
Now, Trey Lance had some issues throwing the ball there. I'm just sorry. Go ahead. I just saw him overthrow 4 guys.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I'll never forget while we were sitting here, watching the game and stuff like that, and we saw the first snap that we realized was BB, and we went, wait a minute, is that Cooper Beebe in the center spot? Was that him? And pretty much since then, it's been gravy.
Yeah, I mean,
so to speak.
We're watching it literally right now.
Night and day difference from the first few snaps that we saw from him when he was...
Trey Lance almost got sacked there, but nothing to do with Cooper Beebe. I mean, Cooper Beebe is... I'm going to say, I know he's playing against backups. Here he's not playing against anybody, but he knows what to do in every single play. That is very impressive. His football IQ is off the charts. Very smart player. Very consistent. Got to get consistent with the snaps, which he showed in this game he is. If you continue this route, he will be our starting center. Look at that blocking down. Wow. That's second-level blocking right there. Fantastic by Cooper Beebe.
So we hear a little more from him saying, quote, at the end of the day, I control how things go. I have to continue to work and continue to get better. It's my hands how things go.
It's in his hands.
He did admit he was a little nervous during the preseason opener. Said, but you get through that first play and you realize it's just football. It's something I've been doing my entire life, and that's why it's comfortable for me.
It looked comfortable. He just mauled the guy to the ground. We love it.
So, again, he also said that his coworkers make things easier for him as well, saying it helps a lot. You figure out what defenders are trying to do and how they're trying to attack you and those different things. I definitely see some of their techniques that I use when I play defensive tackle that I look out for now that I'm an offensive lineman.
Interesting.
And, again, the friendship continues there because Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe are actually good friends, right? BB said, oh, that's my guy, really excited and stuff, saying, oh, we met up in college. Obviously, he played at Oklahoma, and I was at Kansas State, so we've known each other for a while. And to get drafted to the same place, we are clicking right away. So
that's great to see and know.
And
both of them playing
think it's
here.
kind of funny as well that they're both obviously offensive linemen.
Yeah, and you're seeing both of them in most of these clips. It's Guyton doing a great job and BB doing a great job. These are two rookies against backups. But I think the key here is they're getting the snaps that they need to succeed when it really counts. And we're going to see more of that against the Raiders.
So, anyway, that was it from Cooper Beebe.
Okay.
No.
I'm just still watching the BB video. But go ahead. Who else? Anybody else speak?
Last but not least, we did have Mozzie Smith speak.
Who might not be playing tomorrow because of the allergic reaction happened a couple hours ago.
Yeah,
we found out about it a couple hours ago.
Thank goodness that he
is okay.
Is okay and is still alive and kicking here with us.
Yeah, for sure. So let me bring up Mozzie so he can speak on things as kind of watching a little bit of this video. I'll just put Mozzie over the whole thing because he did speak. So go ahead, baby. What did Mozzie say? Who we were hoping to see tomorrow against the Raiders? Probably won't play. Is my opinion, but we hope somehow he still gets a chance to play. What's the deal, baby? Break it down for me.
So as far as the trade for Jordan Phillips, he said, "Yeah, I know all about Jordan Phillips. He's made a lot of plays. He's a vet in this game, and when you're able to add that to the room, iron sharpens iron, and that's what you want.
Love it.
You want a room full of competition. You don't want anybody to relax. This is football. Know what I'm saying? So
I do, Mozzie, and you're right. It's just going to make you all better, and you're going to learn from Jordan Phillips. He's not there to take your job. He's there to learn.
Exactly. Trying to balance as well, learning from the veterans while also competing against them. In a lot of ways, especially on the team. He said, quote, "You can learn something from somebody without saying anything or hearing anything that they're saying. But me and Jordan Phillips are going to have conversations. Just watching how they go about their business, you see vets and players who've done this for 11 years. They've started in the NFL for a long time, and that's not an easy feat. So when you've got somebody coming in that's done anything like that, first of all, that's respect. And then you look to them and see what they're doing and seeing what you're not."
This is almost exactly what we said is the big importance there to bringing in someone like Jordan Phillips onto this team. That's the major thing. And Mozzie himself said it. It's a major thing for Mozzie because it's going to help him. So I love it.
So, and thank you, baby, for adding in your
2 cents, 3 cents,
thoughts
4
there.
cents.
As far as his approach during the offseason, he said, "I just tried to pick up nuggets of the things I need to do because everyone's different. Everybody needs different things, and I was just figuring out what works for me and my routine." So
I love it. I mean, again, that's the growth that we need to see. That's growing. Every little thing you're hearing is about growth.
I also see here his biggest takeaways from this 2024 season that just passed. He said, "I like the player that I know I can become." That's the thing I like the most. I like the journey of getting there. It doesn't happen overnight, and I think I left a lot of plays out there, to be honest. I think that I'm talented enough to make any play that comes inside, and I've got to get to that point where I'm doing that.
Yeah, I agree. Consistency would definitely help.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were going to add something else in there. So
No, just a quick sentence.
Okay, no, just making sure. So, and your favorite, baby. He was asked about the impact of Jeff Izganina. He said, "Coach Z, he does his thing. He's talking at you. He's demanding things of you at the start of practice, during practice, and at the end of practice. It's all the same energy. You don't really have a choice but to get better." So, as far as his coaching style as well, he said, "You try and expect that consistency from yourself. But we're football players and we're human too. So, it can kind of get up and down. But when you've got someone behind you who's holding you accountable and making sure you're both on the same page, that you're both reaching for the same things, then things get a lot easier. Coach Z is old school. My mom said he looks and sounds like the type of coach that's supposed to be coaching me. And it's all good. He's got great energy. I wouldn't trade it."
Listen, I completely love this coach, Jeff Zganina. Jeff Zganina, Coach Z, is a great coach. Is exactly what we need. That toughness, the asshole attitude that we need for this pussified defensive line sometimes. So, yeah, Mozzie's going to get the coaching he needs here. And you already seen the development better. You've seen him calling Mozzie out saying Disney World's an hour and 15 minutes away. You go there if you want to play like that. You know what I'm saying? I just like the way the guy kind of runs his guys harder. And you see Mozzie responding to it. That's what's great. By the way, you know what's great? We got the man Marco Seppian in the house. I mean, I think that's all the quotes in the day. So now it's just comments and thoughts, I guess, as we kind of wrap it up. But what did the man Marco Seppian say with that $2 holla as he goes up to 80 points on this? He's up to 80 points on the stream boss right
A big
there.
aloha to you as well. He
Aloha,
said,
brother.
do you think he's better than Hankins?
I said this earlier, Mark. Yes, he is better than Hankins. Here's the reason why, and I'll say it to you, Mr. Marco Seppian. He always deserves full attention here. But yeah, I mean, I said it earlier. He's better mainly because two reasons. Well, all around, I mean, he is better than Hankins, in my opinion. I know you said about the 20. We talked about the 25 sacks over 9 years, but guess what? He's a nose tackle. Do you know he had 9.5 sacks in 2019? I know it's not going to happen now. My point is, I don't know if any nose tackles. I don't know if anybody, any nose tackle, one tech, a 6'6", 350, 60-pound guy. I think he's 330 or 40 now. I don't know any guy that big that gets 9.5 sacks in any year and any time. Remind me of a nose tackle, a space eater, that is able to pass rush like that. Now, he cannot do that now. The reason I'm bringing that up, my guy, is because he's going to help Mozzie Smith try to be like that. This is what the Cowboys, Stephen Jones, the only reason that they went with, trust me, the only reason they went with Mozzie Smith, and we heard it from Will McClay, was that the upside is that he has a future in pass rushing. The Cowboys didn't want to just get a space eater to stop the run. They wanted a 3-down guy that could pass rush. Now that's what Jordan Phillips literally is. He's a pass rushing nose tackle at his prime. He's not at his prime, but he's going to help like the way we had Tyler Smith and Jason Phillips. What's his name again, baby? God damn, I can't believe I went. Jason Peters. These guys helped Tyler Smith, first round pick. I think you can get similar help to Mozzie with someone like Jordan. I can't believe I forgot his name. God damn it.
I almost said Jordan Peters, but that's not it.
I'm all over the place. Jordan Phillips. So the thing is, Jordan Phillips, the thing about him, guys, that's different is that he knows the pass rushing ways. He will help teach Mozzie that. He also doesn't stay healthy. But we're not going to start him. He's a rotational player like so Hankins was just a run stopper. Not really a Zimmer guy. Zimmer wants a run stopper and a pass rusher, which is what Phillips was and still can provide a little bit, but he's going to teach the Mozzie, which is what Mozzie's supposed to be. You got me on this, Mark? I think I explained it properly. So, okay, I got you. All right, I just want to make sure I got it all explained because I know I think there's definitely a big upside to him compared to Hankins. It would have cost about the same for Hankins as it did for. It's just going to cost 1.7 on the cap hit. So that's what basically Hankins would have been. Except Hankins is just a run stuffer, not a pass rusher, while Phillips was both and is both. But of course, he's not the way he was going to retire with the Giants, and he said, "No, you know what? He was going to retire," and then he signed with the Giants, and then they traded him to us for basically we went down 20 or 30 spots from the 6th round to the 7th round. That's what we went. We swapped 6th and 7th rounders. We went from the 6th round to the 7th. They went from the 7th to the 6th. I'll take it. I'll take it. A roll of dice with the Jordan Phillips, who will help the team on the field, will help the team in the rotation, and will help Mozzie Smith in his future. But again, remember, guys, that interior rotation, we got to keep him rotating in. We cannot have him starting. If he plays too much, Jordan Phillips will get injured, as he has pretty much every single season of his career. So he's got to be rotational. He cannot be just starter, and then overdo his snaps. Got to be able to manage those snaps. So, anyways, there you go. There's my 2, 3, and 4 cents on the Jordan Phillips signing.
So I
you
actually
had
2 more little comments here from Mozzie. So again, don't worry, all defense related, right? Ganina's basically attitude merged with his coaching style, right? Mozzie said, "We play a tough sport. This ain't Candyland. This stuff is real. We've dedicated our whole life to this. I've been playing this game since I was 7. I don't ever want to let it go. And I know people who didn't have the opportunity I have, and they're still not letting it go. So for me to have this opportunity, the first things Ganina said was about becoming a great player and teaching us how to play the game."
Smart man. He needs, you know what I'm saying? He understands that there's more than just showing up.
So he was also asked, what do Zimmer's defensive schemes specifically kind of ask you to do, right? He said, I try to keep my head down. We've got real games to play, and I just want to make those plays in those games. Keep my head down, keep working, and not really worry about feelings. It's the next day, let's do it again, let's recreate it. I mean, just reading between the lines a little bit there, it sounds like Zimmer might have ripped Mozzie a new one.
I know one thing.
It's kind of being implied.
I know that at least he's maturing a little. It sounds like he's maturing some. By the way, speaking of maturing, Marco Sapien maturing up this board here with a 5 on it, a $5 holler. And I'm looking here, he got another $2 holler following that up. Basically, Mark is saying, quote, what concerns me is that New York, the Giants, were going to cut him. I think he's a solid. He is solid considering we have zero depth. Thank you for the explanation. Still a huge need is D-line. Aloha. He said he and Hankins and Mozzie would be nice. JJ fed up. And there's the other $2 drop there. I just read that one. Mark, 100% agree. Listen, the Giants are going to cut him. He was not going to even play this year. He tried to join back with the Giants, signed a $1.7 million deal, and he might have been a cut casualty. The Cowboys didn't want to, he would have been picked up probably on waiver wire. The Cowboys didn't want to have to hope for him. They wanted to grab him and get him attached to Mozzie. So I don't mind the trade for the 30 spots we lose in the 6th round of the 7th round. Who cares? I don't mind the move. He's better than Hankins, even if he's a little better than Hankins. I think he's maybe more than just a little better than Hankins, but he definitely provides the pass rush quality that we need Mozzie to learn from. And even though I understand the Hankins, Mozzie, and Jordan Phillips kind of move, that the 3 guys have been great. I just don't think the Cowboys even want to. They want to go with Justin Rogers, the rookie, as the 3rd guy of the mix. He's the 3rd out of the nose tackle. So whatever it is, Zimmer got at least something added to this team that he wanted. And it's Jordan Phillips. So that's the situation there. Zimmer did not want Hankins back as much, I think, as he would have wanted. Like, I know the Cowboys wanted Hankins, but they didn't show it. They let him go to Seattle, and they let him go for like 1.8. It was too much. So they got this guy for 1.7 to help Mozzie in the way that they want him helped. And he has probably more in the tank than Hankins. You just cannot play him. You cannot overplay snaps with Jordan Phillips because he will get hurt. If you play him 40, 50 snaps in a game, you're going to hurt him in a couple of weeks. So play him 20 to 30 snaps. You got Mozzie playing 20 to 30 snaps, a little bit from other guys, and Osa mixed in there, and different looks and sets. And you can make it you can make it work.
Yeah.
You can make it work with Mozzie, Phillips, and Rogers right now as the 3rd nose tackle. And you got Osa next to him, with guys like, I know we Carl Davis, by the way, who was the backup. So, again, another improvement there. We're getting rid of a Carl Davis. We're getting rid of guys that are the bottom of the barrel. Jerry Jones loves it because it makes these moves look better than they are, because it's not a great move, but it is a great move for a team that doesn't make moves. And it's great for a team, like Mark said, no depth there. So you're getting rid of, Carl Davis, and you're adding in there a Jordan Phillips. Holy fuck! It's like mind-blowingly improved. But in reality, like, we should have had Jordan Phillips there already 3 months ago. Someone like him, and then you bring in, and he's your last guy. He's your teacher, but also rotational with small snap percentage there. So look, the Cowboys do things differently. We know this. We know how they do this, and it's sad. Anyways, as we wrap this up, baby, and call it a night. I mean, we will be back tomorrow night for the live stream, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, and of course 7 Pacific.
Yeah, so adjust, accordingly.
And ask Marco Seppi about Hawaii time.
True.
That's a couple hours after. That's 6 hours, right? So 6, yeah. So you're looking at what, like here it's 10. So you look at 4 p.m. over there in Hawaii. Aloha, brother. We'll be on live tomorrow. Nice. Hopefully, we'll see you on here dropping your thoughts on the game live with us. The game will be on NFL Network, and it'll be right here with us as we break it down.
Hopefully, since we're just ended the stream talking about him, hopefully Mozzie is also able to join the team and is feeling better after that unfortunate allergic reaction that he experienced.
I don't know if Mark knows.
I hope they know whatever it is that caused it in the first place, too.
Yeah, we don't want it to happen again, but I hope Mark knows that Mozzie late announcement that he did not travel with the team because he had an allergic reaction. He's a guy we want to see out there, get as many snaps as possible, but there's still an outside chance he plays. I'm hearing, though, don't count on it. So we're not counting it. we'll see what happens, guys, when it comes to Mozzie going forward. But I expect, again, we've already talked about this multiple times tonight and multiple times the last couple of weeks, but Mozzie Smith is definitely improved. He's definitely improved off the quickness off the snap. He's improved the way he plays. The run fits. It's much improved. The reason why you saw Mozzie messing up a little bit last week wasn't Mozzie's fault. It was literally Harvey Jr., the UFL linebacker. He went to the right gap and he left the left gap wide open, and they got like a 30-yard run. Mozzie held his gap though, his run gap fit, but he didn't have the help from the linebacker. It's not on Mozzie. So again, there's a couple plays like that. It looked like it was on Mozzie. The only thing I would say was negative about Mozzie. He did not disengage as often as I'd like to see him from blockers, but everything else he's improved on. That's the only thing he's still kind of learning still. So great upside development for Mozzie. Let's hope it keeps going, and he produces to a Jordan Phillips type career. Because if he does that, we got a winner here, guys. A guy who can pass rush and stop the run. That's what we're looking at with Mozzie. We hope for Mozzie. That's what we used to see from Jordan Phillips, and that's what he's going to be teaching to Mozzie Smith. I love it. On that side of things, I love it. But we know Jerry Jones deal. This is like it's a miracle deal. It's a mind blowing deal with the Jerry Jones mindset. So, anyways, on that note, guys, we were calling it a night. We're supposed to, we'll do the raffle real quick. It'll take 2 seconds. Okay. So just get this thing done. I've been pushing it off for July way too much. So, baby, you do the shout-outs or whatever,
I guess. I'm going to go ahead and do the shout-outs here in the chat as Mr. MCF sets it up. But don't forget, guys, to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You guys can follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. And, of course, hop in the Discord. The link for that's always in the description box down below. Mm-hmm. Again, thank you so much to everybody here who took time out of their day or their night, respectively.
Yeah.
Times adjust accordingly to your time zone. To come and hang with us here on the MCF side of things. Really looking forward to our next preseason game tomorrow, seeing our Cowboys do their thing.
Hell yeah.
So, Big Sarge 31, Dak Delusional Fan, thanks for being here. A big mahalo to the man Marco Seppian.
Hell yeah.
Of course, Iceberg Slim.
He's in third on the board already, just like that.
Damn. So, Dak Delusional Fans. Mm-hmm. We have James Herr. Just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Hold on to Rodriguez. Take it easy. Of course, the man C. Bass. I'm just trying to go back as far as I can. Chris Plumage. Take it easy. C. Bass. The man himself.
Yeah.
Griff 181. Much love. Alright. Coming back down. I think that's everyone here. At least as far back as I can go for now.
And baby, I do want to announce that. How do we do this thing usually when it comes to this monthly raffle for everybody in the, I guess you can say, either in the star level, over everything level, or weekly winner gets put into this raffle every month. Why don't you tell them, you can see the names on here. Let me go through them real quick, and I'll explain why here real quick. But Chill Pill was our weekly winner.
Woo!
And Lincoln Kane, weekly winner, and weekly winner. Those are our 4 weekly winners, guys. You see them right there with the asterisks. Big shout out to all 4 of them. Lincoln Kane's in the star level. So that's his regular account, I guess you get a regular raffle entry. The Lunatic, of course. Skeptical Fan, of course. Marissa Sparkle, of course. All in that star level. Still in the star level. I will say Jet Li fell off the star level. He's in the navy blue, but he was in the star level for the month of July.
That's
so
right.
He gets credit for that. And Seabass, also not an Over Everything member yet. He will be back, he said. But more importantly, he was in the level the whole month. So he also gets not just the one, but also his, if you're Over Everything, you get a bonus second entry. So big shout out Seabass, Jet Li, Marissa Sparkle, Skeptical Fan, The Lunatic, Lincoln Kane, multiple times, and Chill Pill with the record breaker right there. One of these people are going to win a great sewn and stitched MCF jersey of your choice. Baby, why don't you go through it with them one last time so they know what this whole thing's about.
Again, your choice of an authentic, stitched in jersey. We have, obviously, as you can see from the ones we've repped ourselves and more, a variety of players, styles, and sizes available. So I can't wait to see who the next lucky winner is going to be and who they choose to rep, right?
I'm excited too. Big shout outs to everybody. Good luck to everybody involved in this thing. To all the level members and all the people there. Oh, let me get this. We're about to submit it and see who is the big winner. Just give me a moment here. Oh, okay. Let me open that up too. There he goes. All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's submit it. Good luck. Drum roll, please. And the big winner is Lincoln Kane. Takes it down again. Can you really? Can you really be surprised?
Because he was dominating that Cash App King and Sponsor of the Week.
Yes. Sponsor of the Week. He had 3 of the 4 this. Chill Pill has the record breaker, but she only gave her 1 entry. Lincoln Kane.
She definitely broke his streak.
Yeah.
But the man LC, yes, was absolutely dominating at the top of the board.
Big shout out to Lincoln Kane. As you can see here, Lincoln Kane, he, is the. He almost secured his victory, in my opinion, with the 3 bonus raffles plus his own. So, hey, Lincoln Kane did it again, all the way from Australia. Big congrats to him. And go Cowboys, repping that star over everything out there in Australia. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to all the people in the membership, whether it's in the navy blue, silver 2, the star level, and the over everything level, of course, as well. Big shout outs to all you guys. Thank you for doing the thing here with us. And also thank you to chilling here with our training camp recap for the week. And we also gave you what to watch for, some preseason preview here for this game 2 against the Raiders of Vegas, which we'll be watching here live tomorrow with the cameras on, lights, camera, action, and the live game day reaction of our team. Hopefully no injuries and just good stuff. That's all we want to see. Winning is great too. Well, that'd be nice, but we just want no injuries tomorrow. That's all. And see the things we need to see.
Yes.
Anybody else in there? We're good to go, baby.
No, we're good to go.
All right. So on that note, big congrats to Lincoln Kane again. And thank you all for hanging with us. Well, this once a week, maybe twice a week streams. We get schedule change, channel change. We're still giving you the Cowboy news, info, and updates every single day, if possible, if needed, and definitely when CD Lamb signs. On that note, I think we went through everybody as far as the leaderboard. Big shout outs to Chill Pill as our sponsor of the week and Cash App Queen. Shout out to Marco Seppian, up to 87 points on the Stream Boss. And as you can see right above that, Jet Lee 44 with 2 gifted memberships. That's all he needed to win the champion gift giver here of memberships. 10 out of 12 weeks, he's been dominating that board. Thank you all. As the leaders this week, there's no leader there right now for the gifting board. But on the Cash App side, currently, nobody in the Cash App side. So that's wide open. But on the overall board, you got Marissa Sparkle in the lead, and not far behind, you got Dwayne Broussard and Marco Seppi and Skeptical Fan and many others. So thank you all for participating in this fun thing we call here, the MCF experience here on My Cowboys Family. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for game day. Live stream reaction from your people here at MCF, myself and the wife, and you guys here for the watch party. Preseason style, week 2, game 2 against the Raiders. On that note, baby, why do we try to do this each and every day here in My Cowboys Family for the last bunch of years?
It's that navy blue, that silver 2, and that star over everything.
Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly here. Here on this channel, we rep that star over everything, no matter what. And yes, for over 7 years, into our 8th season doing this on YouTube, never forget the most important thing here in My Cowboys Family, here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys! Let's get that 6 and beyond. I really wish it could be this year.
Make it happen.
Yeah, I wish. Thank you guys for dropping your knowledge in the chat all night long and dropping the love from above. Let me shout you guys out one last time. Skeptical Fan, Top Dog, Bay Bullies, James Herr, Mark Hosepian, Roy Strasner, Alpha Male Pimp, Traveling Fools, Walter Williams, MJ Fonts, Darren Posey, Marissa Sparkle, and on and on. Thank you all for the love, support here on the channel. And can't do this without your drops of knowledge, your drops of love. But now it is time to drop out and clock out for the night. We're going to be real busy the next 2 days, but we'll be making time for the live stream tomorrow night. So catch us for that. Make sure you do all the things needed so you know we're going live, and follow us on all those places at My Cowboys Family. But baby, now it is time to officially get on out of here for the night, relock and reload for game day tomorrow. Let everybody know what we got to do before we drop out of here for the night.
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. Beat's been dropped. It's a wrap here, my Cowboys family. And thank you all once again. You could be anywhere. Thank you guys for stopping by here on this channel, listening, going back and forth on our Cowboy news, info, and updates. Weekly, daily, whatever it's going to be. Whenever it's needed, we got you. Thank you guys again. And we'll be back tomorrow with that game day live stream reaction against these wacky Raiders from Las Vegas. But here, guys, another MCF Cowboys chat, training camp recap style with a little preview as well, sprinkled in there, and more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you're watching this, watch it on replay, watch it on double time so you get through a little faster. And you got all the news and info you need for the entire week on our Cowboys right here at MCF. My Cowboys family, about that navy blue, that silver too. Always about that star over everything. Never forget the number one thing right here on My Cowboys family. Thank you guys for rocking it here with us. Hitting that like button for the stream. Subscribing to the channel. Almost at 40,000. Hit that notification bell to all videos. And follow us on Discord. Follow us on Twitter, X, all social media at My Cowboys family. Stay safe. We'll see you for game day in a couple hours. Peace out. And never, ever forget, Go Cowboys! Woo!